Take flight. Marc D with the C's got the key to life. Retro toys and comics we adore. TV and movies, let's explore. Sunday Night Geekery, it's the place to be. With Marc D with the C, let your nerd run free. Old school vibes and stories untold. Tune in, tune out, let the magic unfold.
And welcome to the Father's Day edition, or should I say the Super Dads edition of Sunday Night Geekery. So happy Father's Day to all the Super Dads out there. And we got a Super Dad here himself, Mr. Dadman Walking. Right, Dadman?
Yep.
You are a Super Dad.
Yeah, I am always, But how are you tonight, Mark?
I'm doing most excellent because I had, trying to become less dimensionally challenged, and we'll say hi to everyone in the chat, but I got for Father's Day, I treated myself to Baskin-Robbins peanut butter and chocolate ice cream, which I believe is much better than sparkling unicorn ice cream. We can fight that one to the death, but I shouldn't be in it, but I had it. But let's, of course, with Dadman here, we've always got to play this clip.
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
Oh, profanity.
As always.
Great to see it. Yep. And before we say hi to everyone in the chat too, of course, it was we commemorated Cloudburn Times Mike on his passing. Hard to believe it's been 1 year. So thank you. Big shout out to everyone who helped share memories. And I talked to Jonathan on Saturday, and he was very thankful for the way things went and all the nice comments written for me to, to everyone out there that the family was very happy with just being able to, us to remember Mike, and his dad was watching, Jonathan's grandfather, and a lot of other family members. You saw some of them in the chat, but a bunch of them did watch it. And, of course, the proceeds went to Toys for Tots. So thank you, everyone who super chatted. So that all those.
By the way, I got my peanuts here.
Oh, peanuts! Yep. Well, you should be having M&Ms.
I wish I did.
Yep. So thank you for that. And then of course, there are a bunch of prints that are left over. They printed that beautiful print of Mike that was in the program for the family. So I think there's about around 30 of them left. So just shoot me an email. I'll put that in the chat again if anyone wants one of those nice prints that his stepdaughter Katie McDowell did, which is so nice too. So, and I think I gotta email me. I think he has a PDF of the program too. So not everyone could get there. So, and Claude's got some a great cartoon in there. So just put that in that memorial link, I think, or that show, and put that in there if anyone wants to download. I did put the link to the video that was shown that day. So thank you again for everyone who was there, and I'm glad that the family was thankful that we did that, because sometimes it's tough. Do you do that or you don't do that, or what? How's it gonna go? But Mike was such an amazing guy and brought us all together. That's the reason I'm here and met you and everyone. So thankful for that. And of course, it's Father's Day today too. So that's where we're starting late. Because I had too much family stuff to do, but no, a lot of fun. Yep. I'm glad that we got people here tonight. So let me start. Sorry, Dadman, I'm pontificating, but let me
go ahead.
Say hi to people in the chat. Yep. So and then we'll talk about what we did today. But so hail to Phantom Outsider. Yeah, sorry for the 11. I should have tweeted that out. I guess I forgot, but it did show up as 11 anyway. At least I didn't put it on the wrong day at like 11 p.m. And hail to Brian Hepburn. Great to see you. And we've got a Super Thor daddy out, and I know he's hanging with Maddie tonight, but if he can pop in for even just a few minutes to say hi, I'm sure Steve will do that. But when Steve is there, we always play this. And even if he's not there, sometimes we play it anyway. That's a great one. Yep. And
Oh, yeah.
hail to Donnie. Great to see you, Donnie. And let's see here. Okay, ugh. Now I want ice cream. Good thing I got both Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ice cream and caramel sea salt. Well, caramel sea salt, that is a fine ice cream, and that's one that my better half always enjoys, and that's one that I can if I'm in trouble. Flowers and caramel sea salt ice cream. But now I have to get up and get it. Yeah, burn the calories. Walk to the fridge to get the ice cream. Dad, man, I know your favorite ice cream is that sparkly unicorn ice cream, right?
Yes, but I tell you, the Blue Bunny soft chocolate is out of this world too, and I forgot to go get some today.
Oh, right. Well, you could ride your bike to the store and burn off those calories getting it. And they help the Gap After Dark. And he's saying hi to everyone. Yep. And Maddie's Steve says thank you. Yep. Let's see. However, you're all technically correct, which is, of course, kind of correct. Mostly correct. Yep. And hail to Claude Salling. And a shout out to Minimus Prime, Claude. A big tree hit his house. So that's why he wasn't there for the stream on Thursday.
Oh, no.
And
They've had a lot of storms over there, I think.
Yeah. So I thought he was making a joke. He's like, Mike didn't want me to embarrass him on the show. And then he sent a picture in the messenger chat. Boom, his house got nailed. So thankfully everyone's okay. I think all his Barbie dolls are safe. Those are all thankfully not damaged. But no, all joking aside, that's pretty damn scary. A tree hit your house. So it looked like it took off a corner of it. So and I know, Dad, man, you deal with a lot of storms in Florida.
Every day it's we've got heavy thunderstorms now. Every day it's crazy, but it's typical.
Do you have
for this
any
time
big
of year.
trees around your house, or
no? Those got taken care of. We only have one or two. They got taken care of years ago, so we don't have to worry about trees.
Don't have to worry about big trees, but
nope.
Yeah, we had a massive tree that actually, at one point, was actually considered as the Rockefeller Christmas tree. Believe it or not.
Wow,
believe it.
That's a big tree.
So it was a gorgeous pine tree in our backyard, and our the backyard is like 100 feet by 200 feet. So it's not you're not talking like a big farm country, but I think originally they were the people that lived here before. Yep. They were worried about how to get it out. Like they had to cut down all the hedges that were in between the property, or go on. Like there's a church. We're actually next door to a church, so they had to. I don't know. I guess there was some logistics that didn't work out, and then the company got in touch with us when we bought the house, and then 2001 happened, and 9/11 happened, and then that it got dropped that year, and then we're like, oh, we're just cutting it down because it was a gorgeous tree, but it was like, and hail to Suzanne, great to see you, welcome to Sunday Night Geekery. And the tree was like I don't know 150 feet tall or whatever it was. It was like it took over like the whole house, and the whole yard was like perpetually under shade. Like it could have been 90 degrees out. So
we did have one tree. We did have one tree that was on the other side of my driveway. It was in my neighbor's yard, and it went down one day, and we thought we heard something, but our house was intact. Neighbor comes over. He's like, did you hear that? Like, well, what? Because it's part of a big thunderstorm. Tree was on his property, but it fell. It was so tall, it would have wiped out our whole house because we only have 1,000 square foot house. It would have taken out the whole house, but it actually was so big it fell towards us and hit his house.
Oh my God, yeah,
it's like, hey. So we were lucky with that one. That's the only big tree that we ever really had that could have been a threat. But
yeah, try to see if I can find a picture of it to show. But
here in Florida, it's pretty much your insurance company is going to get you at some point. They're basically forcing everybody. Of course, now Florida, you need some shade at times. I mean, it's one thing. I don't know. People are having to take down healthy trees and stuff.
Home insurance really.
It's crazy in Florida. You're lucky if you got it, and you got to keep it. And then, I mean, there's still insurances of last resort, but then you end up just having to get that every year, having to go out and either get new inspections or you can get it. It's just
I hear insurance is a big problem in Florida.
Yeah.
It's like a big
I
guess with the hurricane, like if you're inland, maybe it's not as bad. I don't know. I don't
think it's still bad everywhere.
It's still bad.
Okay. Yeah. It's just
not just the
Well, see, what I hate are the companies that sit here and want to tell you to package and bundle your insurance properties, like some
The
lady
car
and
and
some
everything, yeah.
like some lady and some lizard and all this stuff, but they won't even do property insurance in the state of Florida. So it's like, you know,
Oh, they don't even do it
yeah,
in Florida.
they don't even do it. Yeah, exactly. So
So you're SOL, yeah.
yeah. So
Well, I guess that's what happens. The insurance company drops you if you're too high of a risk, and then no one else wants to insure you, maybe, right?
but at least in Florida, we have the insurance of last resort. It's like a kind of a quasi state thing.
Oh,
But
so like you it costs a fortune, but you can buy it, kind of thing.
yeah, or have high
Okay.
deductibles. You can get something, but but still they question how solvent that is too. But you know, but last year we had two big storms. We had a Cat 4 and Cat 5 hit last year, so you know we're still okay, except for those areas that are still recovering.
That's scary. Yeah, no, that's scary because
Yeah.
haven't had a storm, knock on wood, here in a while. But God, I mean, it's damn scary. I mean, it's damn scary. So
Yeah, and it's hurricane season. Hurricane
yeah.
season in the Atlantic started on the 1st of June, and we haven't had any named storms yet, and nothing any developed. But hey, it's a long year, all the way till November 30th.
Yeah, no, it's and I remember just my heart was racing that night. It was all stressed out, and just like my chest was hurting just from the stress. I don't have thankfully I'm not saying I was having a heart attack, but just the scariness of the stress of like that storm coming in, and then you're waiting and waiting, waiting to see, God forbid what's going to happen.
It's the fear of the unknown, fearing for what's going to happen. It's whether trees fall or something blows off. You get a tornado. The worst thing is really the tornadoes and straight line winds, because that's where the damage really happens. So that's what happened to us with Irma. Was our back fence got broken back over the 4x4 poles. They snapped backwards and over themselves inwards. And they came through, missed you and I could go out there and push the shed over. Missed that thing. It's still standing to this day, but it took off the back awning and ripped off part of the fascia board. But thank God we had that metal roof, because I believe probably would have lost the whole roof that night when that thing blew.
So you have a metal roof.
Metal roof. We did, and we
a lot
paid
of houses
extra
in Florida
have the Miami code.
Have metal roofs. Yeah,
more people are going to them.
Yeah, because I saw a renovation, and I'm trying to find a picture of how big this tree was.
Well, they sound wonderful. The rain hitting it's nice when the rain hits it, because sometimes when I'm streaming, you can hear the rain hitting the roof. But it's ours. I think ours made a difference. So
here, let me show a picture.
Because we had to wait the whole night. There was an opening under the soffit all night, but our roof held.
Thank God. Yeah, no, that's scary. I'm gonna just put the overlay up so I can get this on right. Let's see. Pardon my technical unproudness.
Come on, Mark. Damn it, Mark.
Damn it, Mark. Come on here. Let's see. Here we go.
Any day, Mark.
Full screen. And it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. There we go. Yep. So this is house. We're fixing it. And just look how I don't even have the whole I don't have the whole tree, but look how big this tree is compared to the house in the yard. So
it really doesn't have a thick trunk, though, does it?
Well, I'll try to find a picture of the trunk. It's like 6 feet across or 4 feet across. So it was pretty darn big, yeah. So I'll try to find one, but just gives you just an idea of how. I had pictures when we were cutting it down. That's why I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring the chat. I'm not smart enough to do two things at once. But I think I took pictures when we cut it down.
Mm-hmm.
I have it under my house file, but
it's tall, but it did look thick. But then again,
it's pretty thick when you get. It's pretty girthy. Yeah, when you get up to it. Yeah, it was big. But so some people, they weren't so happy. Like oh, you got to cut it down. But and then we had a really nice tree that was on the school property behind us, but unfortunately then that tree fell down and broke through the fence. There was a fence between us and the school, and I'm waiting for the town to it was a town tree, the town to cut it down and take it. And then nothing was happening, so I called them. I said, "Oh, guess what? All these kids are jumping over the fence and like climbing on the tree."
Mark, you're one of
And then
those. Oh man, Mark.
no,
Okay.
it was day because it's on my
Okay.
property.
Yeah, and
So
I'm
like
giving
within
you a
a
hard
half
time.
hour, within a half hour they were there and they put the orange tape around it. No, but a kid could have.
Yeah,
God
I
forbid
know.
a kid could have. I know what you're saying, but
Well,
a kid
yeah.
could have fallen and
And this day's litigious society. Yeah, I got you. I just had to give you. I just
you
had
had
to
to
give you
give
a
me a
hard
hard time.
time.
You
Get
had to
off
give me a
my
hard time.
lawn.
Yeah, well, yeah, it wasn't like, and I'm friends with the mayor, so that helped. But here's the picture of the. Here, I can show I found it. Yeah, I can show some of these. I guess. Yeah. And this is what everyone wanted to see tonight: pictures of big trees. But well, here's how. Let's see. Is that the first? That's the tree going. Oh, you can see how tall the tree is. Yeah. That's my wife. Yeah. So see how big the damn tree was over the.
It's a tall tree. It's a tall tree, but see, a lot of our trees are thicker. They have more of the greenery around.
Yeah.
Because see, yours does have that Christmas tree look.
But it was, they were going to use it for the Rockefeller. They came, they said Rockefeller Christmas tree wants to. But I mean, it towers over our house. So, but it was. It just took up the whole damn, the whole damn place. So. But it was sad, if they could have gotten it out. But so see how big that's pretty girthy, Dad, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See?
That's pretty good. But I've seen a lot of ours are probably about another.
Oh yeah.
No. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it falls. It's going to do some damage on your house.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. But we had no sunlight. We had like zero sunlight because you see, this is how big our yard is. It's like. It's not a very big backyard, and it's like
it's not.
Perpetually. It was great for vampires back there. So it was like if that tree had been like the other tree, and that's the tree that fell down after these trees fell down. So it was a shame. But then we're like, oh crap! Then the other tree that kind of gave you some shade fell down. We're like, oh crud! And sorry, I've been way behind on the chat here because I was searching for stuff. Yep. So let me catch up to the chat here. So fans, an old oak in the back of my childhood home. It was hit near the top by lightning and had to be removed. Cost almost $3,000 for them to cut it down in sections using a crane. Yeah, I think that tree we cut down almost 20 years ago. And I think it was about $2.5 grand or $2,000. It wasn't cheap. Then you got to pay for the stump grinding. So yep. And hail to Tim. Says I heart clobbering times. Let's remember our buddy Clobby.
I just love clobbering time.
So it wasn't cheap. Yep. Was not cheap. Yep. So Tim says, hope you're feeling better, Suzanne. Oh, I hope you're feeling better, Suzanne. Not sure what ails you, but yes, hope you're better. Let's see here. Let's catch up here. There's a chat. No way would fall. No matter which way it fell, it could have taken out our house or the neighbors to left or right of 4 different neighbors' garages. Yeah, that's when it gets crazy. And then at the end of our street, there was this gorgeous dogwood. It was like 150-foot tree, and it was ancient tree. But there were 2 of them. When I learned to drive, on the right, pulling out, there was a massive tree, and on the left, so it was like getting out of our street was like a nightmare. I had a bunch of friends who got in car accidents. So, even if you're paying attention, like cars are flying down, looking left or right. And then they finally took the tree down. The tree to the right, they took down like 20 years ago. I think it was diseased. And then the tree to the left, all these tree huggers were trying to save it. And we're like, this tree is a hazard. It's like right on the corner. And it was massive tree, massive. And you couldn't see when you're pulling out. So my cousin almost got killed pulling out of there. And then when they we're near a school. So when they finally cut it down, the tree had massive rot. It had massive damage. It was like, just a time bomb waiting to come down.
Yeah.
So, it's just, when they finally cut it, and like someone sued and the tree stayed up for like another year while the, went to court. And, what if someone had gotten killed or something? I mean, it was, you want to save whatever trees you can, but it was dangerous where it was because it gotten so big. And then it turned out to be massively diseased, unfortunately. So,
That's the worst part is you just don't know. I mean, and sometimes the trees look healthy. But Mark, I got something to share for you if you want to bring it up real quick because
of course.
I tagged you the other day. But listen, there's new parking spaces for barbecue people that can twerk at barbecues. Mark, I thought of you when I saw this one the other day, especially barbecue when we get to the eatery part. But it's it's you know.
Oh yeah, we let's see. So this.
There you go. There you go.
Twerking, yeah.
You just got to learn how to start twerking.
Well, I was barbecuing today, but did I twerk at all today? I don't think I twerked. I got a bum knee. I actually went for an MRI on Saturday. Got in for an MRI.
Saturday, wow,
yeah. Well, they it's like a sports medicine place. Not that I'm playing the sports ball anymore, but they had a Saturday open. I'm like, all right, so I'm waiting for the call tomorrow. So my knee has been gimpy for like the last half year. So I don't think I could barbecue and twerk at the same time.
Just do your best a little bit without hurting your knee. You can find a way to do it. When your wife starts looking at you like, what the hell are you doing? You can say, well, I can get a parking space.
I can get a twerking space. I get a closer space. Yeah.
Yeah, where's Joffrey? I mean, it would have been nice to share this one with Joffrey around. So.
Yeah. He
remembered it forever.
He went to bed early, probably, yeah. And Tim says, did it make a sound when it fell? I don't know. Did it make a sound? It didn't fall if no one heard it, right? Yeah, the old joke. Yeah. Right, yeah. There's a Klobby's Clubhouse. Oh, well, you know what, Steve? I just didn't have the heart to erase any of the future shows. I'm just superstitious. I didn't want to delete it because those are the last two shows that Mike had scheduled. So I think a couple of years ago, I think I just scheduled the show for as far out as I could because I'm superstitious. I just didn't have the heart to delete it. So I guess Jonathan could go and delete it maybe, but
that's the day after my birthday.
Maybe that's what I don't remember. I think I just pushed back when I had access to the channel. I think I just pushed it to the last possible.
Hey, when is your birthday?
June 17th.
That's right. It's like Tuesday, folks. Hey, everybody.
It is Tuesday. Yeah.
Send some love for his birthday. I knew it was right around the time of my birthday because my birthday was last Sunday. But yeah, dude. Hey, happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, it's great to be able to just hang out with family and friends. That's all you need. You don't need any toys, any of that collectible crap, right?
No, I agree. I do agree. That's
says Mark the hypocrite. But,
no, I'm like that too, Mark. Last year I did a bit, a big stream birthday thing. This year I didn't. I plan to hang out with a friend next week. Things fell through last week, but just a private hangout with a friend is what I plan on doing because it's that's the moments that you do is just hanging out with people, being around with those that you care about and have fun with, and that's what it's about,
No, for sure. And God, I wish I could go back to those like birthdays in grammar school where we live near the like a park here, so you go to the park and like hot dogs and hamburgers and homemade cake, and then you got your toys and you're disappointed by ROM maybe. Yeah, but like it's like a simple. Now that like it seems like all these birthdays are like theme birthdays and not that they're I shouldn't say there's, but like sometimes these birthdays it seem like they're like mini weddings at some point.
So stressful, so busy. That's like I said. That's why I planned on doing something small last week. Well, it fell through, but we're planning on doing it next week and just a friend or two and just being quiet. Because last year when we did the big stream thing, it was nice. It was fun, but I will say it was draining. It was work. It was a lot of work. And so that's why sometimes a lot of these streams, they're all fun. It's always rewarding. But, even on something like that where you're celebrating, it's hard. It's a tough job. I mean, you're working and always thinking, seeing who you're bringing in and different things like that. So, but I'm like you. Just sometimes on some occasions, just hanging out people privately is is all that's wanted.
I mean, if it had fallen on my birthday, happened to fall on, the same day, then but I wouldn't do like a separate, I'll be on Toxic Tuesday maybe, but my nephew is graduating from high school that night. So knock on wood, the weather's good. It's supposed to be bad weather, but I'll be back maybe 9-10
Yeah,
o'clock.
that show, I guess, for people that do watch that, I know it's next, but you're involved with it. But it's now only on Rumble, correct?
Yeah. So what had happened was, let me just catch up to the chat here before I elaborate. But yeah, Suzanne, congratulations on quitting smoking. Don't take up eating ice cream like I did. But no, that is great for your
I
health.
actually have to go get some of my birthday
yeah.
cake in just a minute.
Yeah, go for that. Yeah. But it's yeah, that smoking I hear is probably not dwell on it too much for Suzanne's sake, but yeah, it's one of the toughest things to do. So yeah, good luck with that. And yeah, I know it's a lot of willpower, and I don't have the willpower to avoid food. So I don't smoke and I don't drink anymore, but once in a while I'll have I'm not supposed to, but once in a blue moon I'll have a drink. But I did have a root beer today. A beer show. I screwed up the joke. I had a beer. It was a root beer, but it was my wife's been buying those mini, like
You
the
had
mini
one
European soda.
You had one job.
One job, and I screwed it up. Those mini European sodas. Because there's no one in Europe as fat because they have these sodas that are like 8 ounces or
And they're like
6
water
ounces.
type. So yeah, I know a friend that's got like cherry water or cherry soda, but it's like it doesn't sound like what we usually have. So
Hey, Vegas
Steve.
Sports here. Happy Father's Day, Steve.
Happy Father's Day, gentlemen, and to any dads in the chat.
Thank you.
I did want to drop in, even though Maddie is sleeping, so
Oh, you got to talk soft, yeah.
Yeah.
Carry a big hammer.
Yeah, if she wakes up, then she always usually wakes up crying because she doesn't know where I am. And I guess has fear of abandonment. But I did want to drop in and say Happy Father's Day, and I wanted to say something to Suzanne. I realize that it's hard to quit smoking, but keep it up. At the, I think it was 2018 Salt Lake City Comic-Con, Leonard Nimoy was supposed to be there, and he did it through video because he couldn't leave the house. And what he said really stuck with me. He said, I quit smoking 30 years ago, and it's killing me now. Now, I'm not trying to be dramatic or scare anybody, but I think that quitting it is worth it. And so I just wanted to say that. In addition, of course, saying Happy Father's Day to Mark and Dad Man.
And Happy Father's Day
Same to
back
you.
to you. Yeah.
Thank you. It was a great one. I had the best time.
That's awesome. Yep.
So
Nimoy had COPD from that's what I didn't understand. I'm like, oh, he quit smoking all those years ago. And,
yeah, it could be 80s, I think, or something. Yeah.
Right. And it came back. So that, or I guess it can hit certain people. And of course, my aunt lived till I think 90, and then I so as she said, smoking killed her, but she's like, I lived to 90, but who knows how long she would have lived. And then I would find her, at a couple times I came over and she was on the oxygen and she's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
I'm like, could you not do that, please? God, God forbid.
Yeah, it gets a hold of you and it does not want to let go.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, but it's definitely worth. I'm saying definitely too much. It's worth quitting. So, fight and you can win this. And Mark, by the same token, how can I say this without sounding like a total jerk? Sometimes the strongest medicine tastes the worst. But when we met, you said you were going to lose weight because you don't want to end up like Kloppy. And I don't want to guilt you or anything, but I did hear you talking about ice cream, and it's hard because food addiction is, it's a real thing and it's hard. The where it's different from smoking is that I have read that there are a lot of studies of people who were overweight for a long period of time, and when they lose the weight, they actually get better health than the average person. I guess it's like, you get stronger pushing against a wall, and then when the wall's not there.
Yeah, yep.
So I'm just saying this not to be a jerk. I just
No, I've been trying. No, I've been trying, and actually, I haven't. The last time I had that ice cream was a year ago, so I had it for Father's Day, my birthday. So no, but I hear you. Yeah, I've been and I've been seeing a doctor and trying to do some things, and
I'm just
getting checked up and
guys
doing some exercising.
Guys,
Maddie's calling.
Somebody's awake. Yeah. All right.
Well, just mute and
okay, I'm coming.
Pop in and out when we understand. Yep.
Okay, we'll do.
Dad duty comes first. Steve will be back. Yep. Hopefully. Yep. Maybe Maddie will come on the show. Yep. But no, but Steve has got his heart in the right place. Yeah, it's not easy to always show the food stuff, but yeah, it's not easy to do. Yeah, you got to do it in moderation, as we do food.
Maddie's always invited on the show. She.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of foodery tonight. So, Dad, Ben, I know you can't stay.
Well, I don't know. I actually had a nap earlier this evening.
Okay.
And I don't know. I might have a little more in me, but I'm being bad.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what I'm eating right now.
You're eating grapes?
No, actually, no. Maybe chocolate grapes, but I got my birthday cake from last week.
Yeah. So happy birthday to Dad, man, which is awesome. And speaking of birthdays, I'm going to show my birthday list just for fun, because this is when I send this out to my family and everyone, they go crazy. They go crazy. Yep. How do I zoom in on this view? Zoom. Where'd the menu go? Why do they get rid of the toolbar sometimes? Where'd the toolbar go?
StreamYard keeps changing stuff at times.
No, this is Google Docs. Google Docs.
Oh, no.
Like because of request edit. Okay. All right. So this is just for fun, just to show us. People always get a kick out of my birthday list. So let's show this. Yep. It sounds very easy to buy for. So I kind of try to get the list down. So I didn't have as much stuff. Yeah, let's do 200%. So of course, first barbecue. This is new fancy dancy wireless barbecue probe, and goes to your phone and check all the temperatures when you're cooking. Galaga, that's like the best arcade. I think Sinistar and Galaga are my two favorite games. Do you remember Sinistar? With it was kind of like Asteroids on steroids.
No, I don't think I remember that one.
Sinistar was good, and of course Galaga with the it's like Space Invaders on steroids. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Space Invaders was annoying, but
yeah, so Galaga takes it to the right. You know what Galaga is, right? You
Galaga. Well, we would call it Galaga. Galaga.
I don't know what's right there, but I always said Galaga.
Whichever way you want to say it.
Galaga could be yeah, it's Japanese anyway, right? So, yep. And of course, Micronauts Omnibus Volume 3, classic. I have the first two omnibuses, so you got to finish the collection. Corgis, these corgis. Let me put this link into the corgis are back. They're reproducing corgi cars now. So Corby Model Club USA. So they're reproducing. So I did buy
corgi
the Batmobile.
Cars. Is that?
Yeah.
I know Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but what is a corgi? Is it the type of car?
Well, that's the British. That's the British toy maker. So corgi.
Oh, okay.
So not the toy. So here's like the Saint vehicle. So they have like a membership club where you get a car a month, and so here's look at that Mustang, that '66 Mustang fastback, awesome. So this I think was the latest one that came out with. So they've got the original James Bond spy car was the DB5 was actually gold when they sold it. So you can buy. I bought the Bat as soon as the Batmobile was available, sold. I mean. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Ian Fleming created Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
He did. I didn't really know that. Yeah.
So I have to have this car. So I'm hoping I got this for my birthday. And then the Yellow Submarine. Love the Beatles, right? So just so cool. The Yellow Submarine car. So then Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and this car had some great, features to it. So just love this. Just so cool. And this is a movie I watched with my dad and loved watching with him. And I always loved submarines going under the sea. Not with the Little Mermaid, but there's something just so cool about this movie. It's so good. So there's that car, and then of course Chee Chee Bang Bang, great movie. Quick buy, yep. So is the wings that would pop out, of course, Chee Chee Bang Bang could fly. So
that was another Dick Van Dyke, right?
Dick Van Dyke, yeah.
And Julie Andrews, right?
Julie Andrews, yep. And Anthem 20. Hey, Anthem says, "I've only person I've ever encountered called Galaga." You're probably right that I'm wrong, but I don't know why I've always called it Galaga, like Galaga.
Don't change, Mark. Just don't change. Say it the way you want to do it. Be different.
Yeah. Oh, and Steve says, "Oh, sorry, my 4-year-old was afraid I left." Yep. Yeah, I mean, I freely admit I could be totally 100%, totally wrong. Never claim anything here is accurate, but I just maybe that's the first time I heard it at the arcade. I'm blaming it on Joey, who told me it was Galaga. How do you say it, Dad, man?
Galaga.
Like Gal Gadot.
Sorta Galaga.
I always say Lag. Yeah. So I don't know.
Galaga.
Should I ask the echo? Yeah.
If you want, I mean, I still think you ought to say it the way you want to do it because it's different. So be different.
And Anthem says, "Yeah, Galaga. Okay, Galaga. It's never going to happen because my brain is just not smart enough to fix the pronunciation." So, Galaga. All right. Galaga.
Yep.
Galaga. There we go. Thank you, Anthem. Yep, for having a good sense of humor. Yep. Oh, and Brian, the Corgi Enterprise refit is nice too. Well, I may or may not have purchased that. Please, I don't want any incriminating evidence on the stream. Was that Corgi? No, that was Tommy. It was Tommy. Wasn't that Tommy, or is that a different Corgi you're talking about? I'm thinking of the Tommy one. Was there a Corgi one? Was that old? Like it was like 15, 20 years ago, maybe the Corgis? Or were they big? Were they?
You're not talking to me, are you?
No, I'm talking to Brian. Yeah, because you wouldn't know. So no offense, Dad.
No, it's okay. I didn't have a clue. So.
Oh yeah. This came out. Oh, it's out now, I guess. Yeah. I did see some reviews of this. Yep. So that's the one you're probably talking about, right? Right, Brian? So yeah, that looked pretty damn nice too. One thing I don't like the base, how fat it is, but the Enterprise is always so difficult with the weight of the ship is just so crazy. It's not bad, but it's just most of my Enterprises I hang with fishing wire, and then it looks a lot better. But yeah, I saw some good reviews on this one too. Yeah, it's not too expensive. So for the price, I guess 60 pounds is at 120. So that looks pretty nice. Although I don't know why they have that stripe in the middle there. Yeah. And then Brian says, "No, it's new." So I think that's the one you're talking about, right? Right, Brian? The Tommy, the Tommy is massive. Yep. And Wesley goes, "This member chat." God damn it, Mark. Okay, here we go. You ready? Where's the?
Never that way.
God damn it, Mark. Jeez.
As always.
Thank you, West. Yep. The Tommy is huge. Yeah. Hey, and R2 is here. He says, Galaga. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Galaga. Oh, it hurts to say it that way.
Well, don't say it the way you want to say it.
So the Gala part is pronounced like galaxy.
Yeah, I remember
Okay.
Galaxian also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I loved Galaxian. Yeah, see, Galaxian was much easier to say. So, yeah. Oh, and, Brian says, "Yeah, you can't get the Eagle Moss ones anymore, so that's good scale." Yep. So let's continue down Mark's birthday list. So, of course, ROM Space Knight, much better than the original ROM toy, which sucked. That ROM toy, anyone that tells you that ROM toy was good, that original, I think it was Galoob, that toy sucked. I remember my friend Joey got that. Like, we played with it like for 5 minutes. It's like nothing worked. Sound effects and light. It was one of those lame toys, and they tried hard, but had almost no articulation. It's one of those in hindsight where like the toy it's got a fond memory looking back on it, but it really was a sucky toy. What really saved it was the comic was amazing. The ROM comic. If you hadn't read, it's not a rom-com, it's a ROM comic. Were phenomenal. So check those out. And the omnibuses are out for ROM now too. And hail to Sashi. Great to see you.
Yep.
And Galaga was a better game than Galaxian. Yes, I agree, Wes Kegel, but Galaxian was very good too.
Yep.
Yep.
Speaking of, did you get Wes Kegel's member chat?
I did. Yep.
Okay,
So
I
he
missed
said,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
So I played the video. Yep. Damn it, Mark video. Yep.
Okay.
So scrolling down my list, it's not too long this year. You got to get ROM.
Baskin Robbins
Firestar.
ice cream. Wow.
Yeah, that's the ice cream. Yeah, well, it's my favorite ice cream. So,
All
truth
right.
be told, I did buy it from. Yeah, that's the world's greatest ice cream. That peanut butter and chocolate. Marvel Legends Firestar. What kid did not fall in love with Firestar? Watching Spider-Man and his amazing friends. So
I'm just trying to figure out how somebody's supposed to deliver ice cream to you.
they're supposed to buy it and then come over to my house and share it with me.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you bring a bottle of wine or beer. Or, yeah, don't send
Okay.
it in the mail.
Right. Shipping
Right?
that, you're gonna get
I'm not asking ice cream from Dad, man.
you're gonna get
Dad,
warm
I
milk
sent
at
you ice
that
cream,
point.
Mark. Yeah, I sent you
Oh,
ice
geez.
cream. Yeah, this Odin figure is wild. You can get that. That's just a really great. Maybe he's a little bit too dimensionally challenged, but it's a damn when you click on it and look at it, it's a damn good. That's a damn good figure, and of course the classic Loki from the TV show. Well, it's a classic Loki, but famously in the TV show. This McFarlane Toys, is it Hulk 341 or what? I can't remember the damn number, but great cover. I've got the Wolverine one, which is phenomenal. I'll show it, but it's back there. There's a new Marvel Legends series Doctor Doom cosplay helmet, which is pretty awesome with the nice stand. I was going to 3D print one. It still may, but it comes with this nice, cloak or hood, and I don't know how to sew, so I'm like, and this is $100, so it's not bad actually for what you're getting. Yeah, so that was really cool, and then you could walk around, with as Doctor Doom. Yep, and of course I love the Hulk. This Hulk, the patch. Joe Fixit and the patch, and of course no one recognized Wolverine with the patch. That was one of the most brilliant disguises in comics, even better than Clark's glasses. So no one noticed who Patch was when he moved to Madripoor, and then had some dealings with Joe Fixit. Here we go, some Mary Jane Watson. Another that's a great 2-pack there. Gandalf the Grey, more Spider-Man and his amazing friends. I think this figure is actually.
List?
This is a short list, yeah.
Wow.
This is
Okay.
pared back.
Wait,
But
go
this,
down
I
again.
think
Go
the
down.
misaligned. This doesn't come with misaligned, so I think the Firestar separately is better.
Is that an Atari 2600?
Yes, it's an entire 2600 plus.
Do they still? I mean, I guess
Yeah,
are these those
I'll
retro
click on it, I'll
games?
show you. Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, so it's so it plays your cartridges, which is so sweet. So my old Atari died, and I should probably try to fix it.
But how do you get the cartridges? I mean, I've seen in an old toy shop.
No, I mean they still sell them, or I have like 30 or 40 or 50 Atari cartridges left yet.
I tell you, how much is that running for?
$130. It's a very good purchase, I think, and it comes with one joystick.
Oh man, I would love to have one of those. But
I'll put the link in the chat. It's here we go.
not that I'm going to be able to get it.
Enabling.
But sure, go ahead. Enabling, yes.
Enabling.
Hey, Mrs. Mark said I should get a Atari 2600. Sure. Okay, she said sure.
See, she said yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then enjoy sleeping outside tonight. But other than
sure,
that,
why not?
yeah, she would actually love it too.
She should have heard the joy and excitement in her voice. But that's the thing, is getting the cartridges though.
Yeah, so the cartridges are still pretty accessible, and they're coming out with new cartages now. And like this one has 10 games in one cartridge. Yeah, Atari's selling new cartridges.
This reminds me of like the like a lot of the retro games. They did the plug and plays for a long time and stuff like that. and or even the turntiles. The vinyl players now. Vinyl was dead for the longest time. You couldn't find record players, and now you can.
Now they're back. Yeah,
they're back. Yeah, and my '80s records still play though.
Yeah, so what's nice about this, you can go to your HDMI TV. Now, I know, yes, you can get the original Atari on your TV. And I have emulators, but what I love about this is I got to have a joystick. I can't play with these fancy-dancy gamepads. So I did buy the Atari computer version. The joystick's not exact, but this sucker takes the joystick connection. So I still have Atari joysticks that still work. And my Atari died, but this has an HDMI out.
Yars Revenge, I love.
Yeah, Yars Revenge, a great game. So yeah, you can do it with an emulator, but there's something fun and tactical about having. And you can use your old cartridges in here. So and it's still, I mean, it's much smaller, but it's just cool. So I definitely want to.
Smaller's not bad either. I guess they had to plug them with USB cables, stuff like that. But Anthem saying Pitfall and Burger Time. I love Burger Time.
Yeah.
Wes Cagle talked about Adventure. See, they've released some of those games on like the PS4, PS5, because I've got the disc for them, or you can get them on DLC. So they do have them on the more modern systems, but it's still just, there's something cool about that old school look and the cartridges.
Yeah, like you can buy an Atari 400 Mini. It's a little mini computer there with 25 games. Now, my friend Larry, did he have the 400 Mini? 25 games. So the Atari computers, a lot of people use these, and that also uses the joystick. I don't know what games. Does it tell you what games it comes with? Half-side version of the Atari 400. Let's see. Package contents. What games does this come with? Controller jacks. 5 USB,
including it set it up there. It set it up.
Oh,
go back up. It said what games. If you scroll back up a little bit more, bit more. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm looking at two different screens. Okay, you got to go down a little bit more from there, Mark. A little bit more. Let's see. Scroll down a little bit more. I saw it there a minute ago.
I thought it packed with features.
Yeah.
Rewind gameplay up to 30 seconds.
The problem is on my StreamYard screen, I don't get the clarity of it that I have on the other monitor where I have the stream. So I'm looking at two different screens, and the time difference is what's causing it. Because there was something that did talk about the games, like Millipedes in there.
Millipedes, okay, yep. I'm sure that, let's see here, dimensions, product manual. They should tell you what games are in there.
Yeah, hold on.
Sorry for the fast scrolling.
Yeah, keep scrolling up. I'm watching the StreamYard screen right now.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
It's 25 classic 8-bit games.
Yeah, scroll up just a hair bit more and stop there.
Maybe they have a list here.
Yeah, I thought I saw a list in here. Well, no.
Features, member features.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I did click the plus.
That's it. Okay.
Lead, Berserk, Millipede, Minor, Mule, Star Raiders 2. Oh, they're just listing them. Yeah.
No.
And play your own compatible games via USB flash drive. Yep. So, yeah, but that's, for $90. And if you had that computer as a kid, I know one of my friends, they had that computer. Was an Atari. Did they have the 800? Was it an Atari 800 too? I think it was an Atari 800.
I think it was a 3800 or it's like
computer.
28 computer. Oh,
so this is the 700 console, so you could buy this console, which is damn smart by Atari. But here, let's see let's see hardware. Come on, I hate it when the menu's all hardware. So I don't know if they have Atari 800. Oh, and Sasha, I think, the whole buy it online and pick it up at the store confuses me. Why not just buy it directly at the store? I think if it's a item that people really want, they purchase it. Like I think all this, like the Pokemon stuff. What's really hot now? Buying Pokemon cards or what's selling out everywhere?
I'm behind.
Was it a Pokemon? I think it was. Someone was telling me
Go. Everybody was playing everywhere.
No, but there were like things you could buy in the store. There were Nintendo collectible items.
They used to have amiibos that the Wii's used to use a lot, and I think they still have them that you could store data on and stuff that were like little characters.
Well, I did see people on Twitter talking about it was something Nintendo adjacent that like everyone was going to the store and buying them out or buying them at a time or and I think like if you buy a computer or something, like not that you do that often, but they'll set it up for you or like a grill. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, just you just buy it. Yeah. So yeah, there's the 2600. So let's see, forward and compatible. Yeah, so I did buy I want to show the Atari that I did, but they don't sell it anymore? The Atari. I bought like the new Atari.
There's like a 2600, a 5200, and I mean, it's like the numbers doubled on them.
Yeah, and then they have the different games. But the main thing is to reproduce it is the joystick. So that's the most important thing. Oh, this is what I got, the VCS. I bought this when it came out. And it's like a little mini computer. It's okay, not great. They've got the joystick's not exactly the same. So when you play it, it's just not as good. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad.
No, you can tell there's something off with it.
The joystick doesn't have the same feel, and they made the top spin, which they tried to do. So I put a big knob on the top when you're playing like Centipede or any of those games. Yep. So it's pretty cool. But
I love the demonstration where they use their it's like their thumb and their index finger.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell plays a game like that? I know I don't. I was like, I like palm it.
Well, this is this is how you had to spin. They tried to do, instead of coming out with a separate controller, the joystick spins, but it's too skinny. So that's the problem. So it's too skinny the way it goes through. But it's more like an emulator, so it is pretty good. But it's like Chrome, and I barely use it. But it has a ton of get a lot of Atari games on it. But unfortunately, it's I would say go with the the 2600 plus probably if I had to do it again. This is they were trying to come up with like a whole new Atari gaming system, and that people come up with new games and retro games. It's not bad, but it just it wasn't as good as I was hoping.
Yeah, see, like I said, they have got it where they're releasing these old games and these throwbacks, these classic editions. You can either get them online, like PlayStation Store, stuff like that, or you can get them, through physical CDs or discs. And you kind of, I mean, it's so retro to have that old system, but do you really want to spend $130 for it? Is what it comes back to.
Yeah,
Or things sitting around in your house that you got to take up space for, or and that's the beauty of the new system. Systems
or an emulator. Or an emulator. You can get an emulator. So emulators are nice to do to have those, but it's just not the same feel in terms of the controller. That's the only thing. If you grew up playing with a gamepad, not so bad, I guess. But I just can't. I just can't play with the. I'm a klutz with the damn gamepads. It just screws me up completely. So that always, I don't know about you, Dad, man, if you grew playing, if you played with gamepad, but I try to do it and it just
no, we didn't have I didn't have video games like that when I grew up. My parents didn't. I got an Odyssey game system, which was really odd and different because it was cheaper, but they had all off-name games and stuff. But I was jealous of the kids that had the Atari systems. I never got in television though, because that daggum dial button and the number pad, I just could never get that. But that's the beauty of the
let me
Atari.
say goodnight to Suzanne. She just got fried pierogies. Yummy. Peace out, everyone. Thank you for being here, Suzanne. And after your pierogies, maybe come back, right?
Yes. Have a snack.
When Brian says, I hate they did the dip switches for the multi-game cards. Is that the Atari one? You have to go into use dip switches to change what game shows up and like do like a number or something? Because that would be a pain in the ass if you couldn't do it through the menu.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Intellivision. I remember my friend had that horse racing game on the Intellivision, and you'd bet on the horse, then you could whip the horse to try to get to go faster.
Yeah.
And then the horse would you whip it too early, and the horse would stop racing. Yeah,
Yep.
and our family had Intellivision back in the day. Had Pitfall and Burger Time. Oh, I love Burger Time and Pitfall. Pitfall is awesome. The Intellivision, yeah, actually I have my friends in television. He's like, you want it? I'm going to throw it out. This is like 20, plus years ago. And I have my friend's ColecoVision with the Atari add-on. Back then, they came out with an Atari plug-in so you could play Atari games on ColecoVision. If you try that today, you'd get your butt sued out the wazoo. And it still works. Like that's how I played my Atari games. We had like a friends weekend, old buddies came back and we played Atari games on the ColecoVision because my Atari had died, so that's why I gotta buy that. I gotta buy this sucker. If someone gives this for my birthday, I gotta buy this. But yeah, it's pretty. That's pretty. That was pretty fun. Yeah, the Intellivision, yeah, Dad. So you had the Odyssey, Magnavox Odyssey.
Yes. Magnavox Odyssey. Yeah. It was.
I know my video games. I'm not.
I didn't know anybody else knew that stupid system, but
the Magnavox Odyssey. Yeah,
they had some sort of knockoff copycat type games, but
this was the very first one. This was the very first game.
Yeah, that's not the version I had, but yeah,
you probably had the later one. But look at this is the controller, vertical, horizontal.
Yeah, I'm behind you slightly, Mark. Mark, I'm slightly behind you as you scroll because I'm looking up on the channel, not the StreamYard.
Okay, yep, you'll catch up in a second. But yeah, so it's developed by Ralph H. Baer, an amazing engineer. The whole idea, he had the idea. Let's turn the TV into a video game. So this is definitely not what you had, Dad, man.
No, I had an older version. That's probably around
a newer version. This 80, is the first one.
Yeah, probably around 80 or something, 80, 82, I would think.
So let's see if they had a sequel here, a successful Magnavox Odyssey. Let's see which one kind of. I don't think you had the 100.
No. Mine's much older than that.
And then they had the 300. No, newer. No, it would be newer.
It'd be newer, yeah.
Yeah, so newer. So this was the 500. So these were their consoles. So this is probably the one you had, the 3000.
No.
1977.
No. Wow.
For the 4000.
These maybe it's not Magnavox, but there was a system called Odyssey that I did have. It's looking a little more
Philips Odyssey. Then I guess it got bought up by Philips. Yep.
Yeah, it could have been.
Oh no, Philips. Oh no, this is the same as its US release version. None of these look. How about this one?
None of them look the same though. That is what's so bizarre.
A computer.
Yeah, that is odd because it was called Odyssey, the system. Wait, there you go. Wait.
That one?
That, yes.
Okay, that's the last one.
That's the one.
That's Odyssey 2. Bad man, you had to specify Odyssey 2.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I wouldn't know.
And microprocessor, but I do. I remember the red button and the
that's
red button. That's the one
you had, okay.
Yes, that's what I had.
Yeah.
And lemon pie. Hello, fruitcakes.
Hello. And Wes Cagle says, I found the emulators are not exactly the same. Can't play the games as well when it's an emulator as I do when it's original cartritges. Tell me I'm wrong. Well,
you're wrong.
Tell anyone you're wrong. You're wrong.
I will, Wes, but yeah.
My main sticking point is the controller.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is what West, I think, is alluding to a lot of times the timing is off on those games too, because you're playing it on a modern processor. Mm-hmm. So I think all the intricacies of the timing can be screwed up because the computers we had back then were so, these games are primitive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the computing power is just, my watch could play these games now. Yep. And Brian says, the 2600 is sold out on Amazon a while ago now. I think they're getting down to the end of life for that. I better buy it then because I can't miss out on that. Yep. And Anthem says I had Space Marauder, which is Galaga. Copy. Galaga copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space Armada. Yeah.
And Wes says, when you're scrolling, did I see a screenshot for 7 Cities of Gold? Great game. Yep. And Sashi says, my old Sinclair Spectrum from the 80s still fires up. Only some of the keys are wonky. That's fixed by using a pencil on the context point. The graphite helps. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I do have I think I do have the Sinclair. Do I have the Sinclair Spectrum? I have a massive computer collection of 70s computers, and I know I have some. I know the Timex Sinclair. I don't know if I have the Sinclair Spectrum. Let's see. What does the Sinclair Spectrum look like? I'm trying to remember. But I have hundreds of computers in the basement. It's crazy. A bunch of them I bought down to my office. Yep. Do I have the ZX? I don't think I have this. I don't think I have this model. I think I have the time. I have the one with the membrane keyboard. Yep. And hail to Mark Harkness, who spells his name correctly. Says, I had the 2400 as a child. Wife got me the Atari Flashback. Oh, nice. So you enjoying the Flashback? Let me know, because I think I gotta buy that sucker. Yep. The Flashback. Wasn't there a Flashback pack you could buy too? I think you could play Microsoft games. I think. Yep. And Wes says, yeah, there was a 400 and 800. That's what I thought. Yep. And sub to Chasing 80s Toys, talking about 80s toys right now. Yep. Cards and collectibles, I understand. But ice cream and cake, well, I love that ice cream. So I gotta. Right, Diamond, you approve of adding ice cream to a birthday list, right?
Sure, why not? I'm eating my birthday cake leftover from last week right now. So, hey.
There we go. Yeah. And Brian says, the Switch 2 just came out. How expensive is the Switch 2, Dad, man?
My kid was just telling me they like $450.
Ooh,
if you get it, it's about the price of like the PS5 was, and
wow.
And another $50 you can get it as part of a bundle thing with a game. But
I mean, the processing power is nowhere near what a PlayStation is, right?
I have no clue. Honestly, my thing is I'm get off my lawn grump. I mean, that's all a racket. It's like, come on. Well, one computer, Mark, should last me 20 years. I shouldn't have to replace a laptop every 3 years.
I need a new laptop now. My laptop is getting so slow. Yeah.
It's crazy, and it just, but then again, it's like every year they come out with the drive to do a new system. And it's just hopefully they make these games where the systems where they're backward compatible, where you can carry the games from the earlier generations forward.
Yeah, that's. I think Switch you can do it with some things, but and Six is here. Hey, Six, thank you. Great to see you on Sunday Night Geekery. And she says not all stores carry the same thing, so the store doesn't have it on the shelf. They can order from their warehouse or transfer it from another store. Yeah, that happens a lot with like if I order something from Home Depot or Lowe's, or especially the home. I see it a lot with the home improvement stuff. Of course, that's what I'm typically ordering. It's like, store in, White Plains doesn't have it, but the store in, Bridgeport will have it. So, if you want to drive up to Bridgeport, or they'll transfer it for you. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Six is saying hi to you, Dad, man.
Hey.
And
hello again.
West is, I was laughing. The Darwin Award winners are getting hit by cars because they're walking while playing Pokemon Go. Yeah, the good thing was everyone was leaving the house for Pokemon Go. Didn't it take off like crazy during the vid for a month or so? I mean, it was really crazy.
It probably did. Everything, everything had a. Back then, I think everything took off for a while. Everybody desperate to do something or find something to entertain themselves. And
guess who just joined us?
As a droid, don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose.
A very friendly droid, Professor R2.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening, and happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, yeah.
Would you like some toast? Some nice hot crisp brown buttered toast.
Hope you got some toast for Father's Day.
You got to have purpose in life, and toast can be that purpose.
It can be that purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes toast, the hot brown buttered toast. I mean, it just does really hit the spot a lot of times. I gotta say.
Toast. Unless you're a waffle man.
Sure, Waffle Man. Yeah. I had a friend who got waffles this morning. He got a new Dremel and waffles. He was a very happy dad.
A new Dremel and waffles. Well, to each their own, I suppose.
Well, he's a maker. Yeah, he's a maker.
Yep.
And that just says that just sketches my favorite video games.
Oh, yeah. You guys are talking retro video games. That's my forte. Right there. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anthem says, I didn't know my parents had the Intellivision. It was $299 and $79, which is $1,400.
Yeah. So my very first console was the Atari 2400.
Like
my father went out and bought that when I was just a few years old. Or I guess I would have been 5, I think, when he went out and bought it. And at the time, we were living with my grandparents because we were not doing very well financially.
Unfortunately, yep.
And my dad went out and bought that 2400. He brought that home for Christmas. And he didn't hear the end of that for 3 or 4 months.
Oh my God!
From my mom, because we could not afford that at the time. But he went out and bought it anyway.
Purchase.
No. It was
for family finance. Yeah, but
no. Financially, a very poor decision. But I still have the console right over here. It's literally in a plastic box, just right over.
Does it work still?
I haven't plugged it in. I'm guessing probably it's going to need to be recapped. Some of the capacitors in it have likely failed. So I have not even tried plugging it in. I have one of those too. I have an Intellivision right there. I picked up at a garage sale many years ago. I'm guessing it also does not run. But
yeah. My Intellivision still works though. My Atari, I was so sad when I had friends over for the weekend from high school buddies, and we went to play Atari, and it wouldn't turn on.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the thing I was putting in the chat. What a lot of the really serious retro gamers are doing now is they have moved from doing emulation to what's called FPGA. So that has nothing to do with golf. It is it's an FPGA, a field programmable gate array, is a programmable processor. So what you can do with that processor is you can feed it code that tells it how to read instructions.
Okay.
So what it can do is just act like the original processors in those old consoles. So it can take in the same instructions and act the same way, do the same thing that those original processors did. So you're emulating the hardware rather than emulating the software, and the translation in between it. So that actually means it performs much more like the original system.
Well, that's cool. And I guess too, I'm I can solder, but I've never do I want to take the Atari apart and do all the capacitors over?
Doing all those replacing all those caps is such a chore.
It's a chore, but I mean, the Atari's, the board is pretty big. So
the board's pretty good size. And, honestly, I haven't really looked into it. I've got a couple other electronics projects on the docket right now. I'm pretty sure. And in fact, I think I've seen you can just go on eBay and there's kits. You can just buy a kit and they'll have all the right caps and everything that you need.
Oh, just swap it out.
And so you won't have to go find the ones you need. You know what I mean? You don't have to go shopping around for what you need. They've just kind of got them all packed up for you and say, here's all the ones you're going to need. And sometimes they'll even come with a little, a little guide to tell you where they go.
So, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. No, I would like that because, but of course, then you could just be lazy and spend $130 and get the Atari. I'm sure. I guess it's an emulator, probably. I think.
Yeah, probably. I'm guessing. Yeah.
But it takes the hardware, so. But yeah, I should recap that one. But yeah. So and Lemon Pie is here, and he says, "Hello, fruitcakes." And you were talking about Ralph Baer. Yeah, he's the man. He's the all-father, godfather of video games. Right. Yeah.
Yep,
and he finally got honored years later.
He did, many. It was it was like 2008, 2009, something like that. He finally got some real recognition. Yeah, but he was also the guy who made the Simon game.
Oh, Simon! I love Simon. Yeah.
Yep.
I sucked at it, but yeah.
Once
Philips
upon
is the
a
parent
time.
company. Okay.
Yeah, once upon a time, I knew the Simon World Champion.
Oh wow! Now let's search Simon. Well, here what we got in television. This was the controller. Yep. So that wheel there, Dad man, you hated
so
that
weird.
wheel, right, Dad man?
Just could not get the hang of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a strange controller.
But then they're actually kind of it's a forward thinking kind of thing though, because that's what it turned into. Oh, Tom is here. Awesome.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom. Happy Father's Day. He's getting his
what a bunch
his
of
voice
fucking
working.
nerds. My God. I had to come in here just to help make you guys a little cooler.
Yeah, we're very lame in here. Yep.
Tonight,
Get those nerds! Nerds! What?
You made me go full ogre. I'm just sitting here listening, going, "Oh my God, nerds!"
And a field programmable gate array can do. Oh no! I'm not gonna
Oh God! Shut up, Spock!
And I have a Switch too.
Who just stole my lunch money?
Yeah, the big thing with the Switch was how much it cost. Plus, people were getting their pre-orders canceled initially. 'Cause I think they were trying to pull some business to.
I don't know.
To stave off poachers, but I don't think that worked out so well.
Well, the poachers haven't been doing too well on old Fleabay.
Everybody seemed to get one from who
pretty much everybody who wanted one is been able to get one or get one ordered to get it in the next few weeks. I don't think it's going to be quite the sales boom that they were expecting. I think it's a little bit too rich for a lot of people's pockets.
Yeah, and Anthem, I totally know about this life. I just come in to save these guys from their self.
Thank you. Save us. We need the saving. Yeah,
these are the guys that are standing at the bar, with all the chicks are dancing with all the other guys, and they're just talking nerd shit. It's like, get away from the bar, go dance, live. I'm that guy. I'm like, God, you guys can talk about this shit any day, Go out there.
There are some arguments about exactly where the thermal exhaust port was placed on the Death Star. So some think that it was actually not around the central equator.
Actually.
Now this is the greatest baseball game in history.
Oh, there you go. Which one's this one?
This is in television. This was the one that was on Atari. So it was on. It was on the Mattel. Ported to Atari, and this was the graphics. We played this MF for we had tournaments. We got so good, and there was a
now is this the first one that they actually had the full 9 people on the field or something like that? It was or whatever.
Let's see. Did they have the 9 people? I think they were one short on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
8. Yeah, they're one short. Well, no,
one
9.
short. Oh, 9. Yeah,
yeah. The catcher. Well,
catcher. Yeah,
that's the catcher or the ump.
That's the catcher. Yep, that's a catcher.
Yep.
So, but what was great about this game was all skill. The graphics suck, obviously, right? But we thought it was cool. But
well, this is pretty advanced for back then. Yeah.
Yeah, the Intellivision games always look better than the regular game. So, the bug on this game, if you bunted to first, if you put a bunt up, you could get to first. Then you could steal second, steal third. Or hit your way over, so you could be on third base with 2 outs. If you hit the ball in the right spot, if you scored before the third out was scored, the run counted. It was a bug in the software. So that's how you'd like. Sometimes the games would be like 9-8 because we got so good at it that you'd score the 2 out score. It was the only way you could score. So yeah, it was. Oh my God, it was a fun. God, this was a fun game. Yeah, and then you could hit a home run. Yeah, but the fielding was so much. The fielding was so much fun. Yeah, here's a home run. Oh no, it hit the wall there. Yep. So, but look at the guy running. How cool it is! The guy running there. It's like so pretty amazing.
So enamored with that back then.
Yeah, so it was so quaint. Yep. And then this was a commercial. Yeah. So, but this game we played, we had played that for, that was, who was that? That was, Plimpton, with the, talking about how much better the video game was, like, talking about how cool it is. It's hysterical. Yeah. Spectrum was their version of the Commodore 64. Oh, and Alaska Jeff is here. Hey, Alaska Jeff. So, Tom, did you do anything fun today, or super dad exciting, or?
I took a nap and I watched Rambo. I didn't do much of anything.
Didn't do much of anything. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yep.
Barely heard from my kid, but yeah.
Barely, but he did call though, right?
No. He texted.
No.
I guess if that counts.
He texted. Yeah, my daughter texted me. My 2 boys are here today. They all live in New York City, and she texted me. So then I called her on the speakerphone to embarrass her. Yep. So we're showing my birthday list. So this is my birthday's on Tuesday. But look how nerdy. This is a sufficiently nerdy list, Tom. Right? I would get my ass kicked. Right?
Oh God, yes.
A birthday list like this, yeah. Except for the barbecue thing. The barbecue, and I'm trying to say Galaga, not Galaga. Galaga. I'm learning. I would love that version, but yeah.
Chitty,
so we're
chitty,
down.
Bang bang.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Yep.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
And let's see who else.
Baskin Robbins. There you go.
Yeah, that's the world's greatest ice cream
stuff.
That Dr. Doom mask is going to look way better than the one that they're going to have in the Marvel MCU, guaranteed.
It probably will be. Yeah.
Because that one's comics accurate. They're not going to do that with the.
They never do, right? They just can't help themselves. Just can't help themselves. Yeah.
Well, and if they do, if he does have it on, he's going to be taking it off every 5 seconds with his little button on the side of his head. And
you're not supposed to see Dr. Doom's face.
Exactly.
Now,
like
right?
they're going to hide RDJ's face, please.
Yeah, come on. And of course, he's got the Kirby version. He's just got a tiny scar on his face, but he's such a perfectionist that he can't handle it having even that tiny scar. Other versions have him, all scarred up, but that's that'll be interesting to see. And is it really going to be Dr. Doom? Is it going to be Doom or some other, alternative multiverse, Iron Man gone bad as Doom, which I think it'll be. Yep. So, on Wes Cagle says here, yeah, birthday cake and ice cream go hand in hand like Wikipedia and a terrible plot. I remember in college, we got ice cream cake. Was it Carvel ice cream cake? The Fudgy the Whale, Tom Carvel. And we're like, oh, we're going to have beer, right? We're cool. We can have beer at this birthday party. So we're all eating this Carvel cake. We got my friend. Have you ever tried to have ice cream and beer? It just does not go together well. It's like, oh, this is... And no one wanted to say it. We're like 18 drinking beers. It's like, oh, man, it was bad. Yeah. And 6 says, someone needs to open a chain of drive-through toast restaurants. I love toast. And she says hi to Tom here. So
that would be a lame restaurant. I'm sorry, I gotta say, because that is lazy. If you can't make your own toast, then you don't deserve to live.
Hot brown butter toast, though.
It's like if people can't make their own coffee.
Yeah, I'm like one of those guys where I go to the restaurant and I see a grilled cheese for like $3.75. I'm like, any dumb motherfucker who pays $3.75 for a grilled cheese deserves it. Because if your fat ass can't or lazy ass can't fucking make a grilled cheese, then there's something wrong with you.
I'll see you toast on the fires of hell for this.
Did someone say they wanted toast?
Shut up.
It's one of the easiest things to do in the world. Seriously, you slap some butter on fucking bread, you put cheese in the middle, you fry it for about 5 minutes, if that. On each side, like 2 maybe. So what the hell? How hard is that? And you pay somebody $3.75 to do that?
Well, usually it's the kids, though. I've seen a lot of grilled cheese order for kids at restaurants.
I don't care. That is even as a for a kid.
Tomatoes on it. They put tomatoes on it.
Where? Not here.
Slice of tomato.
I swear, my kid did that once, and I was so disappointed in him, and he didn't understand why. And I'm like, "Cuz you ordered them one of the most expensive things on the menu." He's like, "What do you mean? It was cheap." I'm like, "No, yeah, cheap to make for them, but they charged you as much as it cost for an entire loaf and a whole fucking stack of cheese, man. Like I could have made you 12 grilled cheese at home that were better."
Oh God, Tom,
because I use real butter.
I do. It's all I can do not to just completely lose my shit when we go to a restaurant and my daughter orders mac and cheese.
Oh, that too. That's the second one.
Because it's a damn 90-cent package
Right.
of Kraft mac and cheese, and they brought her half of it.
Right.
Yep.
And I
That's the
paid
thing,
them like
anybody-
$6 for the privilege. I'm like, God damn it, can you pick something that's actual food?
Or
Please.
oatmeal is another one that bothers me when people like, it's like, they're just throwing that 30-second fucking oatmeal in a fucking cup and they're eating it up in their industrial microwave and throwing in some creamer and giving it to you, right?
If you order the lobster mac and cheese, now we're talking.
That's a little different, but like, no,
Yeah,
anybody who's worked in any
you,
restaurant, aren't you knows what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know exactly how this stuff's made, and they don't go out of their way usually, unless you are at some fancy place, right? And even then, it's still some of the lamest stuff like on the menu is still the most basic crap that they use, like. Like eggs is another one that I can't believe in most places where people order.
Well, don't worry about eggs. I won't eat eggs. But
Admin will not eat eggs. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
By the way, 6 made me hungry. I just went and made toast myself. So, well, y'all were all talking about toast.
Brown buttered toast.
Brown butter toast. Yes, exactly. So, thank you, 6, for the idea.
And you made that in your own house. You didn't have to go to a restaurant to do it.
Right?
Yeah. Nope. I just was in the kitchen. That's what took me so long.
Yep. Having worked food service, Tom, I know. We had a whole chart in the back that was all about. It was like, make your customer happy, right? And they were like, if they want extra whipped cream, don't throw a fit about about bringing them extra whipped cream. The extra whipped cream is going to cost us all of like an eighth of a cent, right? And it's going to keep them happy. Like, just give it to them. If they want an extra scoop of strawberries on their cheesecake, okay, that only costs us 5 cents. Don't worry about it, right? And so there was a whole thing. So, we learned, like, oh my God, like, how much does this, we're charging $3 for a soda. It costs us less than 4 cents for
My favorite was the diner next to our high school. It would go to, during lunch or all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a new waitress, and she's like, "Why does everyone order the small soda?" She was new, and we're like, "Bring us a empty large glass, and we'll show you, Flo." We didn't call her Flo, but I'm just joking, Flo. And that's that's a joke that flies over everyone's head.
Yep.
So Flo brings over a large glass, and they're like, we take one of our small sodas and we pour it into the large glass, and they're the same size. She's like, oh, because the tall was very narrow and small, but higher, but it had the same amount of beverage as the small. So we're all ordering like 2 small sodas. She couldn't figure it. She's like, oh, those bastards, yeah.
And a lot of them just went to free refills at that point.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's just like don't bother, yeah. But you're right. Yeah.
And I think they had, and a lot of them I think did that because I think a lot of them had to. I'm sure it depends on what state you're in, but where they actually had to post how many ounces or whatever the drinks were. Because I remember that at Taco Bell, they had similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for whatever reason, like they had to actually start printing on the cups and whatever the amount of the ounces, and that's the same exact time they started going to free refills. So, like, to me, I'm like, yeah, they did that because, like you guys said, they've been finagling us this whole entire time with this bullshit. Same with, it's like the fries are the same thing. They give you the same amount of fries in the medium and the large. They just don't fill the large as much, right? Like,
right?
That's
Exactly.
It's the same scoop. It's the same scoop.
And don't a lot of places, aren't they going away from the self-serve soda now because people were just going crazy? Like
some places may have, but not around here anyway. At least not any of the fast food restaurants, like especially any buffets or anything. Yeah,
or buffet. But I was hearing like some of the McDonald's were going away from the free refills, or because
I know that's why they liked it with people who go through drive-through, because then you don't get a refill.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, sometimes they're putting them behind the counter, making you go back to the counter to get the refill, so you can slow down on the number of refills. Plus, also you can really make sure people are not cheating with the water cups, even though they cheat all the time, no matter what.
That's probably the one that bothered them more. I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or used to we had a guy that would come into the restaurant, and the soda fountain was around the corner. And so he would come in, he would buy a soda, but then he had one of those giant 64-ounce, like, big gulp trucker.
The bladder buster.
Yeah. And he'd fill that up.
So Phantom's got fighting words. So okay, what if you're on a road trip and want a grilled cheese?
Then you go, if you're going to stay someplace, chances are it's going to have a stove. Then you go and you buy a loaf of bread, a thing of butter, and cheese. That'll last you a half a week compared to one meal for the same amount you spend. Like, I get it. There's like that gap between everything, right? But like, you're getting to that point where like steak, I can understand ordering out. Sure, you're going to pay a little extra, but you're going to pay quite a bit for a steak in a store, right? Burger is about the point where you meet that midpoint where it's like, okay, if somebody's charging $8, $9, $10 for a burger, that better have a lot of shit on that burger. Otherwise, I can go buy a whole pound of burger for that much.
Don't pussy out, Tom. Come on, we're gonna wrap this, and we're gonna buy some foil too, and we're gonna wrap it up. We're just gonna throw it on the engine and let it cook while we.
Now
drive.
you're talking. See, that's an innovation here. See, because you can make a grilled cheese on a goddamn fire. Right?
There you go.
Like you just need to be able to have the intuition and innovation to do it. Right? Like that's just it. To me, okay, yeah. If you're paying for the inconvenience, fine. Right? Like. We have a convenience store called Quick Trip here. It's spelled KWIK Trip. They're actually fairly famous, and they actually do have pretty decent food. Now, once a week on sale, they have their grilled cheese for $1. Like I can see he's paying $1 for a grilled cheese. That I can see. But if you're going to a restaurant and they're charging $3.75, $4 for a fucking grilled cheese, that is a highway like robbery for them. That is insane.
Well, we were talking today about food, and we're gonna do food in a second, and so Dadman prepared it. You just got
I had
food,
to come in and change the subject from your nerdery.
I just got. Hey, look, I tell you what, I'll pay for grilled cheese for being out there, because sometimes it's the less evil or less expensive of everything that's out there. If you want chili, it's a good company with chili. But I know what you mean, because it is like pure profit. It's like the sodas now. When they jack up all the ice in a cup, and it's like, I go to even convenience store. They got 79-cent drinks, and people are jacking up the ice all to the top of the cup. I'm like, hey, where you're getting no product, all ice. But but I'll tell you, my favorite gas stations were in the Midwest called the Come and Goes. Those were interesting places with the dinosaurs, and yes, that was the name.
Yep,
we did have some of those down in. I think Madison used to have a couple of those, but I don't know.
Yeah, they just have a few of those. Yeah, down here we have Quick Trip with a Q.
With a Q, yeah.
I've seen that, yeah.
and they have Twitter feuds.
And Wawa's coming in and invaded Florida, so they're everywhere now.
Yeah.
Lenrod is out of cheese. Oh, sorry, Lenrod. But whenever someone leaves the house, you gotta ask them to tell them to bring you back some cheese whiz, boy.
Right?
Got my cheese whiz.
The only exception I could see is if you're going to a place like if they use like really fancy cheese or something. You know what I mean? Fancy bread, like because there are some places that
restaurant.
Well, that's what Six was talking about. That's what Six was wanting, a 20 type of bread selection to make it fancy. Yeah,
that's a little different. That's more artisanal kind of shit or whatever you call it. But
a good grilled cheese is so comforting, though. I have those flying saucers that the cast iron flying saucer. I think we showed those on the Geekery months ago, where my grandmother got at the World's Fair, and they still make it, and it's like a round grilled cheese cooker. Have you guys ever seen that or remember that? So you cut the
I think so.
Cut the bread off and. It's just like for kids too. It's just
I think one thing's for sure though, that Mark we can probably agree that Mark can find a way to ruin a grilled cheese, because Mark will probably stick damn clams on a grilled cheese.
I was just thinking the same thing as you, man.
Yeah.
Like he would find a way to screw
grilled
that
cheese
up.
and clam. I mean, put bacon on. No, we're gonna have clams.
Like here, look in defense of Six. Look at this, like these fancy, sandwich makers. I guess you could do with so. Do these, and this was the toaster pocket. Yeah, that's what it was. The toaster pocket, the flying saucer thing. Yeah, so you put
Yep.
My grandma always made these for us. Yeah, so
my wife has that one. So
yeah, and it's like cast iron
Hot Pockets or whatever.
Yeah. So it was Hot Pockets before they were hot. Yeah, Hot Pockets are gross. I mean, you talk about the stuff that's in Hot Pockets. Yeah. So so those were good. So yeah, let's do some foodery here. As we want everyone to be sufficiently hungry tonight, right? So, of course,
I just ate before I come in, so I'm good.
You're safe. You're a smart man, Tom.
Safe,
Tom
yes.
Connors. Yeah.
I got a Waffle House 20 minutes away.
Yeah, as long as you're not making me hungry tomorrow, because tomorrow I have to fast. So.
Yep. And there's the great Gwagnar who did this beautiful eatery, and our buddy Clobber Times did this for me too. The Sunday night eatery. So thank you to Clobby for doing that. And here, so let's. My wife, of course, I didn't get one of these because I'm two-dimensionally challenged. But she went to the bakery and chocolate croissant. No snails in that, but that was pretty damn good.
You'd have threw a clam on there if you could have.
Clam, yeah, frog legs in there.
It's all about the clams.
All about the clams. No clams this week,
man.
and I thought of it after. Yep, clam jam. Yep. So here's getting the green egg ready, and I made some dough from scratch. So. Oh, Anthem said, I remember being too young to make grilled cheese using the stove, so I'd make toast and throw some cheese on that bitch.
There's some people who used to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
if you had one of those
grid.
toasters that were big enough, I knew kids who used to take 2 pieces of bread with the cheese in the middle and just shove both of them in the thing, basically, yeah.
Yep. And Geoffrey is in the house. Hail, Geoffrey. When I was in California, I'd take an empty 2-liter soda bottle in the backpack and slowly fill it up, refill after refill. You cheap thieving bastard! No wonder they're getting rid of the 3 refills.
It was you.
It was Geoff. Yeah. And Phantom, I'm also not a grilled cheese fan. I'd rather put ham or roast beef with swilling grill than that at home. Well, yeah, I mean, but there's something magical about a really good grilled cheese sandwich, and I've had them, late night in the diner, back in the day after a night out of drinking. Mm-hmm. It is definitely comfort food. And quick trip
you
for the win.
To spend $4 for that.
Yeah. Now, and check out what's special about this spatula here from Spatula City. Anyone guess?
Spatula City.
I can tell you what's special about it.
Go for it.
Oh, it's a lightsaber.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
That's all right. Nobody ever seems to.
Yep.
Oh, the hilt. Now, see
Spatula City. Spatula City.
And that's a old Rush Limbaugh gig from way back in the day.
It was from UHF.
Oh, that's UHF, right? Yeah,
it was from UHF. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rush copied that. Yeah.
What's even funnier is that where they put a billboard up for Spatula City.
Yeah, in Tulsa. Yeah,
and nobody bought out the billboard, so it sat there for years.
Actually, it stayed up for about 4 months.
Oh, so yeah, I grew up near. Has grown since then.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I grew up near Tulsa, so I had friends that had actually seen it when it was up. So yeah, awesome. They say it was there because they bought it. I think when they were shooting, it was summer. It was somewhere in May, I think, is when it went up, and it stayed up there until like August. Yeah, so nobody else bought it up. So I mean, it's expensive to take them down. So I just left it there until somebody else bought the space. So it stayed up all summer long.
Yep. Oh, in Connecticut, it's because of Geoffrey, who lives in Connecticut. Burger King, McD's, and Subway no longer have free refills. I only get them at Taco Bell. So of course I've got the light side and the dark side spatulas, which I got as a gift. So you got to have 2. I clipped the end of the lightsaber there, but
yeah.
So there's our sausages.
The Return of the Jedi Luke saber there.
Yeah. So you got to have. Hey, Classic Comics is here. Had a patty melt earlier today. It was pretty good. Oh, that sounds good. Yep. Mm-hmm. So these are sausages and mushrooms going. So you cook up your shrooms.
Those look good.
Mm-hmm.
Low and slow.
Portobellos.
They're just regular, yeah, regular. They're already sliced.
Portobellos?
I don't think they're portobello.
Okay.
I don't think
like
they
were
but...
darker ones, but maybe not. Maybe just the way you sauteed them.
Yeah. Yep. So, no, actually, I had to cut those suckers up. Yeah, I did have to cut those up. Yep. The slice. See, this other thing here that you buy them sliced, it costs you a lot more money. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, Wes.
Plus, I like to cut them up a little thinner than they generally do, anyway. So.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want thick shrooms on your pizza.
Too
Yep.
thick, anyway.
Yeah, too thick. Yep. But you got to cook them. Got to cook them ahead of time. So
that's
we had
matzo. Look at there. Holy shit.
Yeah. So this is really good. The fresh mozzarella. And then we had whatever you wanted. You could have it, grated. We had pepperoni.
What the
and
fuck is that Prego doing on the table?
I doctored it up. My wife bought that. Yep.
You should hand in your card, sir.
Yes. That wasn't supposed to show that. I've incriminated myself.
Damn it. I thought I turned it away from the camera.
It's like New York City.
No, okay. I'm gonna give you some relief on this one, Mark. My kids will only, if we make pizzas at home, the only sauce they will eat on it is the one that comes out of the squeeze bottle.
Oh my God, the horror.
Well,
God.
look, cut him some slack, okay? It's not like Mark's Italian; he's Swiss,
What?
He's Swiss, so it's he can cheat.
I'm
You
pretty
lied to
Italian.
me?
Too. I'm pretty Italian too. Yeah.
I'm trying to help you, Mark. Taking the Swiss angle for you.
Thank you. Yeah, we made Swiss cheese pizza. Yeah. It depends on who's winning in the World Cup, what team I root for. The Swiss kicked U.S. ass the other day, 4-0. It's great because I can root for both sides. I can't lose.
Wait,
wow. The U.S.
Roman's
loses
making what
again
kind
in
of pizza?
U.S. loses again in soccer. Go figure.
Yeah, I think they beat Trinidad and Tobago today, though. But
There was a goat in there somewhere.
Yeah, so we have burrata cheese. This is burrata cheese.
It's a line from
Oh, okay.
Great Outdoors. She goes, come on, Roman's going to make goat cheese pizza. Wait a minute. What kind of cheese pizza did you say? Nothing, just cheese pizza. No. There was a goat in there.
There's a goat.
So, of course, tomatoes. Diamond, do you like tomatoes or no?
Tomatoes. Yeah. Well, not directly on pizza. No.
Yeah, we have it for the margarita pizza. We got artichokes there, olives. And of course, my wife yelled at me because I saw the Prego, so I doctored it up and I had all kinds of stuff. That she's like,
"See, you already got pre-yelled at."
I did, yeah, because her mom is very bland, likes the blandness, but I'm like adding garlic and all this stuff to it. She's like,
so Mama likes the Prego, so you throw Mama
my
under
mother-in-law,
the bus.
my mother-in-law, yes, well, yeah, so yep.
Is she Italian?
So, she's Polish. Polish.
Are those red peppers in there?
Those are roasted red peppers. Yep,
okay,
roasted red peppers. Yep. But everyone's like, "Oh, the sauce is so good." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, because I doctored it up." So, Jed, I've been eating ice cream and hanging out with the family, so I haven't checked lately. Yep, but I shall check. Yep, and there's Happy Father's Day, everyone. Yep, Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there and everyone who's joining us. Yep. So, so what we do, I have the big green egg. So you got to cook. The pizza's got to be about 10 to 12 inches. You can't cook a huge pizza, but it's pretty good size though. And we just have everyone make their own pizza. So these do not judge me. These are, although that does look pretty good. But that's
I like that they put everything out to the edge, because that pisses me off with pizza places where you get so much exposed crust.
I'm see, now this is where I'll deviate because I'm one who likes a little bit of nice crust on the end.
Oh, a little bit, but I've seen somewhere it's like, oh my God, it's an inch and a half off. It's like, come on, put a little more stuff in.
Too much crust. Yeah, too much crust.
Yeah, that I can see, but like I like a little bit enough to hang on to, and
especially if it's crunchy.
Like breadstick.
Yeah, especially if it's crunchy. Yeah.
What happens with these too? If you're not careful, it kind of rolls. Like I was going from the tray, like it rolled off. Yep, goes too close to the edge. Yep. So there's just all the very irregular pizza pies. Yep. There's no pie is not being used here tonight to calculate the size of the pizzas. Yep.
Yep.
So there's a sausage, and I think that's parsley. Yep. And that burrata cheese. It's like
some fancy restaurant style looking thing.
Yeah, fancy dancy. Yep.
Who did that one?
I think this was my wife's pizza. Was this my wife's pizza or was this my pizza? That might be my pizza. I can't remember.
Really? Of course you make yours look like a fancy restaurant.
Yeah. So this was my son's pizza. Yeah, the classic, just sausage and lots of cheese and pepperoni, right?
That's pretty good. I'd eat that one.
There's that one, and then I can't remember if that was mine or my wife's. Yep. That might be my mom's.
A lot of sauce on
pizza.
that one in the middle. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I tell you got to go less on the. You don't realize it, but you wanted to go less on the sauce for some of these pies because you over sauce them and then
it's gonna be
the sauce is too thick. Yeah, and it gets soggy. Yeah, so
yeah,
you want to go less on the sauce. Yep. Oh, he did caramelized onions too. Yep. Phantom saying there's a place near is charging $9 for grilled cheese and fries and small drink. I'd rather get the $10 burger. Yep.
Right? Holy shit! That's too expensive right there. Yeah, because those fries don't cost them shit either.
Yeah,
no, they don't.
The oil's more expensive than the fries, probably. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
And they can reuse it. Yeah. And they can reuse it.
And they sell it a lot of times now. Yeah.
And they can resell it for fuel after. Yeah. Nothing says I love you more than a gift of a spatula from Spatula City. Yeah. And UFH was great when a kid. It was go to watch the Philly channels, a break from watching all the NYC channels. I remember when someone told me, like, there's these UHF channels you can watch on your TV if you put the dial on this. I'm like, what?
Yep.
It was like finding cable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's where I got my love of monster movies and old crummy sci-fi. I had a little black and white TV with an antenna, and we were far enough away from the stations that it was kind of hard. Sometimes you could get the VHF, the main channels, but UHF would come in clear as crystal. So there were a bunch of those real high numbers up there. 34,
I didn't even know what
43,
it was for
whatever.
a long time.
And I would pick those up. Some of those would come in from other states, and I'd watch those old B movies and stuff on there. It was great.
Yeah. Now, were the channel? They didn't broadcast this far. What was the trick?
It's just the way that the frequency is sent out. Yeah, it's a little more coherent. The UHF was a little more coherent, but you didn't get quite the resolution, and the audio channel was a little weaker. And so, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so just where we were, VHF, the regular channels, sometimes you'd get them. They'd be fine.
Yeah.
But the UHF ones usually would come in nice and clear.
But were there any major channel like NBC was never on UHF?
Oh, no. Yeah, no. UHF, you didn't have the
big networks.
The big networks were on the low number channels.
It did actually start to happen in the late 80s, especially like when Fox came along.
Yeah, Fox would usually be a UHF.
Like
you
started getting a bunch of them. Yeah.
A lot of markets Fox would be UHF.
And they started taking them,
The Dumont, back when that was a thing, way back when, I believe that was UHF.
Yeah, because our Fox here was 47.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so UHF, because that was the free. Yeah, so you had the TV knob, and you'd go from UHF to VHF. I remember I had a black and white TV in my bedroom. Yeah, and you would flip the top selector. You could go between them. Yeah, and then you had the dial. Wasn't there a dial with like higher numbers on the?
It depends on the TV, dials? But some TVs had two dials. Other TVs had two dials built into one. It's like when we'd switch, like it'd have two sets of numbers there. You'd have the top part would say like 2 through 13 or whatever.
Yeah,
and then you have another secondary dial in the inside. Yeah.
Yep.
So for you youngins out there, so you had this dial, like this magic dial with all the numbers, and
most of them had the two dials.
Yeah,
most of them had the two dials.
Until digital came along, and then digital kind of made all that obsolete.
Yep, and then a lot of them would also have on the inside of the dial, or to the exterior of the dial. Then you'd have with the tuning where you.
So you put the TV on the U right up here.
Yep.
You put it on U up here, and then you could use this dial. Yeah,
depending on the TV model, but they're all fairly similar to that.
That was how it would. How it'd work, but it was magical. My friend told me about it. It's like, you can get these UHF channels.
Yep, and that's how it worked here, not how it worked around the world. And so when Weird Al named his movie UHF, I don't know if you know this, he named the movie UHF, and the marketing department was like, "Yeah, that's going to be great," except that there's no such thing as UHF in other markets.
So he's called Vidiot.
So they're going to call it Vidiot. And then
there's all kinds of other names for it.
But then in most markets, it got called the Vidiots from UHF.
Yeah, the Vidiots or whatever. Sense. Yeah, unfortunately. Well, and that didn't help too. That also, like I was saying, at that point in history, and that's kind of addressed in the film, although it's not like directly addressed, is that like, you know, all the networks were starting to buy up all the UHF channels because you started growing. They were growing and growing and growing, and you even have that in the movie of the network guys coming in to try and buy out the channels. So like, yeah, so it's kind of the same thing that happened in a lot of these markets.
Yep.
So.
Well, no worries, Wes Cagle. It's all good, all good. Don't worry about it. You can talk about anything here anytime.
But now a lot of them have switched back around. Now that you have like the digital antennas, it's almost like UHF has kind of made a comeback in a weird way, even though it's not technically UHF. It's that secondary band.
Yeah, you have the second, you have the .2.
Yeah, so then you get like the My TVs and the other things on there that are just like Me TV. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I still have my digital antenna hooked up, and sometimes I watch the sports ball games on it because the picture's actually better. Now they've got the 4K streaming, but the picture was always sharper on the over the air, especially when they had the full 1080p stream over the air with the digital antenna. Or
that's because you were probably getting a direct feed.
Direct feed from New York City. Yeah.
If you're close enough to pick it up direct, you're getting a clearer signal, because otherwise they're sending it through the cable box and then they're compressing it, and so it would look worse.
Yeah, my friends were like, "Wow, your TV looks so much better." It's like, yeah, because I have a digital antenna. What's a digital antenna? Well, you put an antenna in the roof, and you run a cable to the TV, and because I'm a gadget nerd.
The sad part is if you don't live anywhere near like decent areas, like that's the downside.
You're not going to get anything.
Yeah. At least with an antenna, you used to be able to spin it around and do some other things, or if you get it high enough, you could pull in quite a few channels. But now with digital, it's either all or nothing.
Yeah. So where we live, I'm not close enough to any area that I can pick up any of those digital broadcasts, because they travel so much less distance now.
See, I only learned about that in this last year, which I was so far behind, because growing up, it's like you could get any. TV was just acceptable. You're over the air, your local channels and stuff. And it wasn't until last year I was trying to get somebody to watch football. I thought just go get the digital box converter and all. And then that's when I found out mountains can have effect, the location to the station, weather, all this other crap. Hills, they were like down in the valley, so they couldn't get like something like friggin' Big Ten football and regular Fox network. And I'm like, that was a foreign concept to me, because I thought the whole damn thing with digital was supposed to make TV so much better and accessible, when it took it backwards. People have less access.
No, the wattage and the distance that they can transmit is way lower.
Yeah, because old television waves used to actually go like this and bounce. So like that's why, like on a cloudy day, if you had a nice antenna, you could pull in all sorts of decent.
Oh yeah, more stuff.
Sometimes digital goes straight out. It's like line of sight almost. So like you only get it's really shitty in that respect.
Well, see, like my box is on the wall over there. I can get 3 of the major networks, especially when football's on, and then I got to move it somewhere else to get like ABC, and then when I do that, I lose CBS and the others. It's like, come on, it shouldn't be that kind of hassle, because it's like the stupid light bulbs. We ended up buying a buttload of light bulbs we still have when they went to the conversions and stuff.
All the ones that suck.
All these things that they keep pitching that are supposed to make our life better and all this other stuff.
LED lights not last 30 years like they're supposed to. I keep having to change them.
Yeah, I know. It's like that stuff. But I got from 19 whenever we bought this light bulbs. But this digital thing is all this shit that I keep saying is going to make your life better and all this stuff. It doesn't. It's like they go backwards. And like I said, it was a horror. It was horrifying when I learned that last year, because I thought everybody got ABC. I thought everybody got Fox. The 3 networks we grew up with, everybody had the main networks, and now they don't. And what about news? What about weather? What about all these major things that could happen? What these local stations?
It's funny you mentioned that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, because I had a similar issue, and I live in such a rural area that it is almost impossible. Like I live like an hour away from Madison, and I couldn't pull in any of the networks if I wanted to, probably.
I've heard about that up in Michigan. I had somebody up in a major area in Michigan, and it's like, how can you not get Fox or ABC out of Detroit or something?
It's nearly impossible because of the way the digital signal is, and they've almost forced you to have to take a satellite or some sort of cable if you do want any of that.
Or streaming.
Well, fortunately for Paramount Plus and NBC and Peacock or whatever, they do actually have CBS and NBC networks in there. So like I can watch my local CBS on my Paramount Plus. But that being said, I shouldn't have to go to that extreme. And still certain sports things and other things, it depends on what it's on, will get blocked out. And I found this out when I tried to just simply watch the fucking Oscars. I'm like, I remember when television used to be fucking free. Now to even watch it online,
the Oscars
I have to have
money.
Yeah, no, I had to sign into the ABC.com thing. I had to either have a cable or a Dish Network. Like, I shouldn't have to. I should be able to just sign in for free. Networks used to be for free.
Yeah.
Because Dadman's right. That used to be the law, right? Yeah. It was the same thing with radio. Free, right? When I went to school for radio, it's like you had to have free access to local radio and television stations for the exact reason he's talking about, weather alerts and other emergencies.
Yeah, it was about public security and all sorts of different things.
We were taught in school, like our first thing is we're here to serve the public. So it does not matter. Like if something comes through on the emergency line, that takes obvious, precedent over anything else. So like, yeah.
And I just want to say hi to Gopher Painting. Not sure if I've seen you before on the Geekery of the channel, but check out their channel, which has some amazing. I just clicked on it and some amazing work and looks like painting models and some really fascinating stuff. So check out their channel. There, it looks really cool. So I do dabble in that a little bit myself, and when I have the time. So thank you for being here. And I'm going to sub to your channel right now. Here we go, subbed. So check out Go Forward Painting because I love painting.
That really upset me that I can't even get standard
digital
TV
channels
anymore.
Digital TV has become such a boondoggle. There are now a number of different companies making televisions that are just not putting the tuners in the TVs anymore because it's just a waste of their money. So
the TV has no tuner.
Doesn't even have the tuner in it. I believe LG is one of the biggest ones.
Wow.
We're just not going to put the tuner in there.
Why bother, right?
Yeah, nobody needs the thing. So
what if you wanted to watch digital over their TV? Then you have to buy
get a
separate.
box.
Buy a box. Yeah.
Yep.
Now who remembers? I know Phantom remembers WHT. You guys know what WHT is? Metco Home Theater. So this is what we're all pissed. Now, Dadman was talking about being free. This was the kind of thing that we hated. So this was in the New York City area, and I think it was a precursor of HBO, or maybe not directly.
I was going to say I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it. Yeah,
so my friend David Prince's dad had this
kind of thing, right?
Yep. So what it was, it's basically a descrambler. So subscribers paid $15 for a set-top descrambling box. So what had happened here was these bastages got some of the Yankee games, which was smart on their part. So for years, you'd watch, like you guys said, broadcast TV. The Yankees, you watched every Yankee game was on WPIX Channel 11 in New York, or, it would be the game of the week, or there was never a Yankee game you couldn't watch. And then they bought the rights to a bunch of Yankee games, and the only way you could watch them was if you had WHD. So I'd always go to David's house to watch the Yankees. So people were so pissed at this. Yeah, so it was originally going to be general.
Okay, so what this is about is like, okay, so what they would do is the local station would carry the game, but if they didn't sell out the game, then this is the blackout thing they started doing. This is what I was talking about earlier. Yeah. So yeah. So locally, you wouldn't show the game to force people to have to go to see the game, but if you had a scrambler, you could bypass that bullshit because they were still sending it out to the network in case they wanted to use it in other markets.
Yeah, so the servers are similar to HBO, but Wometco executive told New York Times that it was more likely to select films of particular interest in the New York City area. The targeted area is not yet served by cable, although Manhattan had cable in 71. Most cable didn't take off till the end of the 80s. Yeah,
and cable back then was just basically the collection of your networks and like I think TBS and WGN back then.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
because CNN and ESPN weren't even a thing yet.
Yeah,
there was a bit more than that because
there was a lot of local stuff. But
we had a cable box when I was I would have been 5 years old or so.
Well, what year was this?
It would have been 84.
Oh yeah, this is
85.
way past what I'm talking. I'm talking about the 70s.
Oh,
because
okay.
HBO was kind of the channel that really kick-started cable.
Yep.
Yeah. But this was basically a decoder box that you'd hook up to your TV, and you had to pay money to have it, and then that's the way that was the only way you could get certain games. So God, the sports people were so pissed off when they came out with this, because that was the only way you could watch, and it was only like 15 or 20 Yankee games.
Yeah.
But man, people were mad.
Cable also introduced the Superstation, and that's where TBS and WGN come in.
I know, I missed those days with the Cubs and being able to watch the games. But I know people that will not pay. They purposely will not pay for cable. They do not want to pay for streaming, so they're truly subject to what is on the network, and they lose out on a lot of stuff that's there. And that's where I was shocked with it. I was really surprised that. Because I saw something like you can get a box or a tuner or an antenna. That's like I thought like in the old days, put it up on your house, you could get it. You can't. It's just, and if you and not everybody can afford this crap now. And then it's this streaming and that streaming, and then you're streaming of a brother's. It's like insane. You get eaten up with fees and memberships and subscriptions everywhere. And next thing you know, you're paying as much to stream as you do the cable company, if not more.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. Easily. The big difference, though, here, and this is where they screwed themselves, and we've talked about this all the time on the morning show and other places, is that, the cable thing, when you had cable, they had you tied into a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with a dish. See, with streaming,
right,
I'm predicting that within the next 5 to 10 years, if not sooner, we'll start to see where they force you into a contract. Like they're already kind of doing it in ways like it's like, oh yeah, you can get Netflix or Amazon or any of the other ones month by month, but if you take it for a full year, well then you save,
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing in a weird way. And once you start stacking all those up, you're exactly right. Like it's in some ways 3, 4, 5 times what you were paying for cable. And
because
really,
you're getting all the
same
channels,
amount of stuff. Yeah.
I was checking the bill the other day, like who's sub to Paramount Plus so they could watch Star Trek Disgracery. So I'm like, I gotta cut back on some of these channels. Like some of them we get for the Grammys, and like I'm gonna get in trouble. I share like the BritBox password or the, well, technically I don't know if it's out of their TOS, but yeah, a lot of people share. But the problem with the streaming was they all thought they're gonna make a fortune. And they're finding out how expensive, and I think Sony was smart. They're the only ones that didn't get into that streaming game, right?
Lionsgate,
Lionsgate, right?
They just stuck out and just licensed their content to everyone else,
and they actually had
making out like a bandit.
Yeah, they actually had streaming services prior to that on their PlayStation Network stuff.
They did,
They just totally pieced out of most of that. Now they still have I think Crunchyroll and some other things.
Yeah, and then remember that Sony had Crackle too. Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, but they sold all that shit out to Netflix. Yeah.
Yep.
And look who's making the most money now, Tubi, right? After the
pretty much,
Tubi's making a killing now,
and that's
free
what Tubi is.
TV.
Yeah, and this is what's
from
funny
the Fox
about
deal.
it. Yeah, is we keep talking about how they've turned dollars into cents now. So now that's a great business practice. It's the same darn thing that the music industry did. Bravo. You learned nothing.
Yeah.
Let's make our content free. How stupid is that? Yeah, at least you got.
Why can't we sell an album anymore? Huh? Well, maybe because you can go to Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple Music and listen to everything, no matter what, no matter where. And
yeah, well, who's going to buy an album?
Yeah, exactly. And now you've done the same thing with movies, and not only that, you've made movies worth less.
Yeah,
right.
Who's going to go see Mandalorian and Grogu in the theater when you
shit.
know it's going to be on Disney Plus 90 days later?
Well, not just that. And Disney Plus is the worst of them all, right?
Oh, it's the worst. It's terrible.
Because, and I'm sure you've heard me say this before, the biggest problem here is they used to have the Vault, right? Which was fucking genius.
Yeah.
Just genius. You had 12 of their biggest films that they would release every 6 to 7 years or whatever it was.
And rotate them.
And rotate them out, and they would make them, and they were like way before Nintendo, they were able to create this false sense of like, if you don't go get it now, you're never going to see this shit again, and your kid will fucking hate you.
Get Cinderella today before it goes back in the vault.
But Is it
Now
even
they
taking
put-
90 days for some of these movies to go to streaming? I mean,
No,
all
hell
of them
no.
doing fast. Yeah, okay.
30, 36 days is the average now. 36 to 90 days at the most, and usually it's 36, 60 days at the most.
Yeah.
Like,
Disney
even
has actually
movies
been
like-
holding out a little bit longer.
Yeah,
than some of them.
Nosferatu came to streaming in 18 days for no good reason. Like,
Yep,
it was
that
so
was stupid.
stupid. But like you brought up Cinderella, and now the problem is Cinderella's worthless because they have Cinderella right next to Cinderella 2 and Cinderella 3 and Cinderella 4 or whatever the
Yep.
fuck movies they made now.
And
And they're
Cinderella,
worth
the
just as
remake,
much as
yeah.
the sequels. Yeah. So they're worthless.
No one's gonna watch it. Yeah, especially with the Ziegler stupidity, the weirdness. But yeah, and
Yeah,
it,
you
it
put
bombs
Snow
so
White
badly.
next to that now is worthless. Yeah.
Yeah, and you used to make a ton of money from DVD sales. Now it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
a niche.
physical media,
It's
baby.
a niche thing for us, us geeks and nerds and physical media collectors. But I just bought Star Trek 3 4K. Watched it last night.
Oh, yeah.
And the colors was all screwed up on it. I had to recalibrate my TV, and it did look. Then I had it looking better. I think I'd clicked some, but because I had the
Those 4Ks had some issues. I got to revisit. I actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I just watched the first one again the other
It
night.
didn't look as good as I was hoping. The sound quality was great, I thought, through my stereo. But it was late at night, so I couldn't put it on 11.
Yeah, they didn't really do any remastering or anything of those. They just, hey, it's 4K transfer. Here you go.
it was an
I
upscale.
guess
Was
it's
it an
better
upscale
than-
on that one?
I don't think those were
No.
upscales. Those were all
No,
new
but-
4Ks, but yeah, they're not.
Yeah, like I said,
stellar.
I watched the first one again the other night, and it goes from like completely beautiful, perfect 10 kind of images to all kinds of what I call ghost grain and other things and certain other issues and softening and problems. So, the Star Trek films have always been tampered with for some stupid reason. Like the Blu-rays had too much noise reduction on them. In this case, I haven't watched them since they first came out. Up until now, I just revisited the first one.
I mean, it looks better than the DVD, but I was
by
watching
far,
it. But there were issues with it, and like there shouldn't be issues with these things. It's like you just transfer the goddamn thing, scan it in at 4K, and don't muck with it. The
mean,
problem is they always muck with it.
There is a process to it, and it's not always as simple as just doing that. I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
but I
sometimes,
mean, there's
sometimes when they do
is
the
my problem. But
yeah. Sometimes when they do the 4K scans, when they're actually getting the original film stock, sometimes the color timing between stocks is not the same, and so you get some issues there.
Oh, that's
and
true.
then, there's some weird, depending on how much attention they actually paid to it. And I just don't think with the original, 6 Star Trek films, they actually paid all that much attention to it. I
well,
think they
and it
just
all
kinda-
depends on how many effects, how much of it is effects shots
Exactly,
and actual on the day shooting. Because anything that's got an effect in it, that's one thing people need to remember is like, even if they claim something's scanned from the quote unquote original camera negative, if there's any processing done to that shot, that's not from the negative anymore. You're anywhere from a step to 6 steps away, depending on how many effects are on the shot.
Exactly.
So that's something people will run into, and they're like, "Well, this doesn't look as good as I was hoping." Well, it's like, yeah, because 80% of the movie is special effects shots. That's why.
And this is the picture I was supposed to show without the prego. Damn it!
There you go.
That was the original picture. See, now that looks Italiano.
There we go. Yeah. Wasn't supposed to show that other one. Yeah.
Nah, you pretend like you slaved for hours to make that sauce.
Yep.
And pizza sauce, you always want it thicker than the you don't want very light pizza sauce. That's the other thing too. For those of you out there, don't buy the pizza sauce in the can. But yeah, I make my
Don't
gravy
get me
or
wrong,
sauce.
though. If that was the least of your problems there, I bet you the rest of it tasted very, 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 very good. So
Yeah,
you
but
didn't even notice.
And the way I doctored it up, it came out really good. And I always add some sugar to my pizza sauce too. The pizza sauce I like on the sweeter side. Your mileage may vary, but I think that
I like mine a
that
little
helps.
saltier, but I understand depending on the pizza.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And here's Go For It Paintings channel there. Check out their cool stuff on their channel. Yep. And so here's some of the pies cooked. Oh, I didn't do a video this time, but so you big green egg, you buy these pizza wedges, and you get your fire going full blast, and so you want about 600 degrees. I think is pretty good. And you've got an indirect cooking here, so you got the stone on the bottom, and then your pizza stone on top. And you have to have a pizza stone that can take the heat. You got to make sure you buy one specifically that can handle because sometimes the fire goes up really hot here. So, if you get a cheap pizza stone, it's going to crack. So the idea is, you get those really hot temperatures. So in a traditional oven, unless you're on the broiler, you can only get, maybe 500 degrees, unless you're using the broiler. So you can't get that really great temperature you need for pizza. So you put the wedges here, close the top down. So it gives you like that pizza oven. Hey, Paulie's here. He says, Tom, shut up and go to bed. What's your response to that, Tom? Oh, see, Tom just shut up and he went to bed. Oh, crap. Yeah. No, you better come in here, Paulie, because he just went to bed. That's my son's pizza pie. Yep. That's looking good. Yep. So there's how you cook on the green egg. Yeah. And that one ended up being a little thick, but damn, it was good. Yep. And 6 says, I canceled all my streaming services a few months ago, but then I slowly signed back up to all of them because I want to watch something. I want to watch it. You know what? I've got a buddy who'll wait till like a show is finished. Like say you like Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
And you wait till the new season's out, sub to Apple TV. I'm enjoying Ted Lasso. It's fantastic, by the way. I just started watching it. Everyone kept telling me how good it was. And watching Ted Lasso, watch it, then cancel it, right?
Yeah.
But you got to remember to cancel it. Yeah. Like I bought a new iPad like 6 months ago, and I just checked. I was paying for Apple Arcade, which I've never used once, because like you sign up for the service, like you get 3 months free.
Well, that reminds me, I need to tell the missus to turn off our Sling to deactivate it for a couple months, because now without any reason to have expanded sports packages, it's like I can actually deactivate it for a couple months.
Yeah.
Put on a hiatus.
Got to keep an eye on that stuff if you want to actually try and save some money. It's real easy to leave it on for a long time. I paid for Sling for like a year without hardly using it, and then just realized, oh my God, I can't believe I just kept paying for that.
And see, I use it most of the year except for over the summer months, because either I'm watching YouTube or I'm streaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's about $60, $75 a month. I can't remember what it was, but still, that's still. Well, I've got the 2 sports packages. Although the sports packages don't add a lot to it, it's like another 10 or 15.
What's funny is I think my dad has that too. I think, but yeah,
I will say Sling has got a lot of good options though, especially on the sports side. I mean,
I think that's the one.
It's the best one we found.
Rachel Ziegler does. Sorry to interrupt that. Yeah, she does. Well, I got this comment by 6. She does have an amazing voice. I will give her that. Yeah, her voice is amazing.
Weird.
Oh God,
she
Mark,
can sing.
I didn't think she could sing, but okay.
I think she's got a better voice than me. No, but I thought she's got a good voice. Yep.
I don't know. I heard the stuff from Snow White, and it sounded, all I could hear was auto-tune, but that's just me.
I haven't watched Snow White yet. Should I go watch?
I didn't watch it. I just saw they had put out like, what was it, 2 songs before the movie even came out.
It's like on Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
It's free.
Well, shut up and go to bed.
It's free.
Bye, be free.
Great to see you, Paulie. Yeah. So here's some more pizza pies. That one.
I thought I heard you say something while I had to let Sadie out, or did I mishear my name?
Oh yeah, that was maybe when Paulie was telling you to shut up and go to bed, and then I couldn't hear you. It was good timing. Yep.
Oh, Paulie does that.
He loves you. Yeah, he loves you.
Yeah, he needs to go to bed.
He needs to go to bed. It's earlier for him. It's 3 hours early out there.
Yeah, but he's older than me, so like it works out. He should go to bed.
And what's good? I can't remember if 5 VHS was Philly or NYC before it was Fox. I just remember 5 where I was I obviously got Channel 5 out of NYC. So
yeah, it all depends on how close you are to what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday night channels that always conflicted, but not many.
Yeah, sometimes you get the overlap depending where you were. Yep. So 6 is Sunday night out of die from heart disease geekery. Come on, you can make a healthy pizza.
True.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Look at the artichokes on there, right? We got healthy artichokes.
Oh, you can
on
choke
there.
on those.
Artie can anyway.
It's in the name.
Artichoke. Yep.
Oh, speaking of Artie, I got the dirtier work cut, or whatever you call it.
You finally saw that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys ever seen the movie before? I know we're doing it for Toxic Tuesday. But...
You were doing Toxic Tuesday. Yeah. No, I've never watched it before, but
you never seen that movie? Oh,
I've never seen the movie.
Time since I've seen that.
I think you'll enjoy it.
There's a different cut.
Yeah. So initially, there's actually a couple different cuts, but what they did is they've had this 2-hour work print cut for a while, but they knew there was these alternate scenes and takes, and Bob Saget has always said there was a more dirtier cut that he wanted to put out, but sadly, he passed, and we also lost Norm and such. So it just so happened that Vinegar Syndrome got the rights to this, and as they were digging through the archive to get the negatives out, they found the reels of the alternate takes.
Oh, okay.
So now the movie itself isn't much longer, but it is different as far as takes and stuff like that. Like, if you'll remember, there's the one scene where they're in prison, and he goes, what prisons are famous for, right? And Artie's like, no. And he goes and he just whispers in his ear, like, for fucking, I don't know, what is it, like a minute or whatever. And he's like, I've never heard that before. And then he comes, and then those guys take him away, and he comes back and he goes, ridiculous. You got a lot of growing up to do. It's a lack of respect that bothers me. Well, it's the other stuff too, but the lack of respect that bothers me. Well, in the alternate cut, when he's like, you know what prisons are famous for, right? And he goes, no. He goes, anal rape. They're literally famous for that. He keeps saying it over and over and over. Yeah. And then when he comes back out, he's like, ridiculous. You guys need to grow up. The lack of respect, that's what hurts the most. Well, that and the AR, but so it's like a lot of that kind of stuff. Basically. It's the same movie, but it's all the alternate takes with the more ad-lib
dirty
stuff.
Yeah.
And even some of them you can tell in the theatrical cut where they just overdubbed it, but yeah.
And hi to Courtney. She's giving Walter a bath. Now, Walter is her dog. She's giving Walter a bath. I'll join you if you're still going. And happy Father's Day. Thank you, Courtney. Hope you're well. And hail to Caleb Levine as well. Great to see you. And hail to Eric K. Yeah, and who says, I just found out I've been subbed to HBO. Yeah, King of the Wrenches. I've been subbed to HBO Max for who knows how long. I don't think I ever used it. Ouch. You mean you haven't been watching Last of Us?
The price kept going up. Yeah. No, well, I haven't seen that, but I canceled it a while back because I just
kept going up.
Yeah, because when I first got it, it was like $9.99. The next thing I know, it's $14.99. Then it's $15.99. Then it's $17.99. Then it's $19.99. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah, it's almost as big a ripoff of. It's almost as big a ripoff as Disney Plus.
Yeah, because it doesn't have as much like Netflix has a shit ton of
That's the one thing I do miss about HBO Max is they actually did have a ton of content.
They got rid of a lot of it, though, didn't they?
Well, to be clear, they licensed a bunch of shit out now compared to what they used to. That's true.
Yep.
But since they took in Discovery, there is so much more stuff. Even before there was a lot of stuff.
Oh, now there's more with the Discovery.
But there's
now
even more. But that's in the
now?
last 2 years. They are splitting again, but I don't know if that's going to affect HBO Max or not. But I mean, between Turner Classic, the HBO stuff alone, and some of the classic Warner Television stuff, I mean, that stuff made it made it worth it for a while at least. But then there's just the price got away from it. It was like, I just can't afford it. And then like you said, since they're licensing a lot of this stuff out, I can just go find it on a lot of the fast channels now, or whatever you call them. So,
or the free channels, yeah. So it just got so expensive. Now I used to sub to DirecTV to get my streaming, and then you got free HBO with them as one of their perks. But I think almost no one uses DirecTV anymore. The DirecTV stream, there was DirecTV streaming, and there was also. Was it AT&T streaming, and then they got bought out? Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Well, that's that's went into Warner part, but
the Warner part, yeah. But there was a streaming service that I used that was like no one had. I was watching. There's like 500,000 people that had it, and I finally canceled and went to YouTube TV. So I use YouTube TV for my streaming or regular TV now. But like I always we'd tease my dad because he watched like 3 channels. The joke was he'd watch the History Channel, Fox News, and the History Channel. It's like you don't need to have the package, Dad. Yeah, and he would watch motorcycle racing. Okay, so he'd watch the motorcycle racing sometimes, but literally, he came over to the house. It was on Fox News or the History Channel. That was it. So remember when Ozzy was the Ozzy show was on, and that great show, and he's like, what was his son's name? Ozzy's son.
Oh,
and he's. Oh God, I forget his name. I can see his face, but Jack, was it Jack? He's like, Jack,
yes.
I just want to get the fucking History Channel. Like the Yahtzee channel. Like they call it the Yahtzee channel. How do I work the they had like this fancy, home entertainment system with like this pad that controlled the TV. He's like, I just want to watch the Yahtzees, So yeah. And 6 is talking about Ziegler, listener live on Broadway.
Maybe,
incredible, yeah.
Maybe I've never seen it, so I'm just saying. Yeah, I just going by what I've heard.
Yeah, and I've seen Wicked live. You go to Broadway; it's a wonderful experience. So nothing beats being live in a theater.
Yeah. I think Broadway is the place for her. She should go and stay there.
That's where Wicked should have stayed at this point. They should have learned
Wicked
their
was
lesson
amazing
from
show.
fucking Cats. It's like, okay, what was wrong with Cats? It wasn't so much what it was the fact that you waited 20 years too late to do this. Like, Cats was a thing so long ago, nobody gives a shit anymore. Right? Like,
and the Cats,
Wicked,
the people look horrible, right?
Yeah, but Wicked, on the other hand, to me is more vicious. Right? Because Wicked does things to the original Wizard of Oz that, like, that's my problem with it.
A lot of people can't stand what they did. Yeah,
it's fine for what it is, but like
as a fanfic.
Yeah, but and the way they're advertising it, it's like, and this is my issue I've had with some people who actually, it's like, look, you can like it all you want, but they are totally selling this as a prequel to Wizard of Oz, right? Like that's the problem I have. They're pushing it up to the legal limit that they can, and that to me is a problem because now there's a lot of kids where this is going to be the Wizard of Oz that they're introduced to. And this is the story that they think, kind of like that Maleficent crap. All of that is rooted in Wicked. It's just so stupid.
It's not the story. Yeah.
This misunderstood villain bullshit.
Yeah. So Frank Oz. How many were there? Like 14 books or 20 books in the Oz series?
Frank L. Baum. Yeah, he wrote
Baum. Thank you. Yep. Yeah. Baum. Yeah.
But like that was the thing is like even in the Oz books, like they paint the wizard as this horrible person in the Wicked movies, right? Like he's not that bad of a person in the books. Is he kind of, what do you call it? Like is he kind of a used car salesman? Yes.
Yeah, he's a snake oil salesman. Yeah.
But he also has the intention of trying to do good. Like even though like the whole idea of Oz and Emerald City is built on a foundation of bullshit, it's still there to scare off the witch, right? Like that was the whole point. Like They overlook and have to flip things around and make shit so fucked up. And spoilers for anybody who's going to go see the second part, plug your ears for 2 seconds if you give a shit. They actually have it to where the wizard assaulted some woman and that's how she is born, right? So she's like the bastard daughter of the wizard, right? Like that's the whole big like reveal that's going to happen in the second part, guys. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember, I'm not a Wizard of Oz expert. I remember reading some articles about how they.
And no, that was never a part of the initial story.
Yeah, how they'd flip things around. Yeah, so.
And in fact, this is the other stupid part because the Wicked Witch is actually based on the version that's in the movie, which is she is an amalgamation of 2 different witches in the movie.
Yeah, so it's not the same.
Which is
as a follow.
Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. The other way around. The good witches. Sorry, that was my fault. Because in the book, that's the whole thing. Because if you watch the movie, you ask yourself, boy, Glenda's kind of a bitch. All she could have done was told Dorothy to just click her heels together the whole time and go home, right? Instead, she sends her off to her death.
That's a mission, right? Yeah.
Like she literally sends her off to her death. Well, that's because in the book, it's 2 different witches. There's 2 good witches, 2 bad witches. And the one good witch sends her on the path to the other good witch, Glinda, who actually then tells her what she's got to do. But that's why she goes down the yellow brick road in the book. In the movie, it's set up Glinda sends her down the yellow brick road, and then at the end tells her, oh, you could go home all this whole time, right? So it's like, you stop and think about it. It's like, oh, so Glinda just sent her down this path knowing full well that the Wicked Witch was going to kill her, right? Like, that's the only way she can get those slippers off, because Glinda made it that way.
Oops.
She sealed them to her with
crazy glue. Well, the spell, actually.
Spell, yeah. And the only way she can break that spell is to kill her.
not very nice. Yep.
So I'm like going like, you kind of made Glenda this real mean person. So that's the only way Wicked kind of works, is by going off of the bullshit that isn't actually there. It's in from the movie. And really,
I've heard it described as fan fiction, basically.
It is, and really, because like the movie at the end of the day is just two women fighting over shoes. But I mean, let's be real.
Oh, that was toxic. Yeah.
It's true though. Cecil said that first. I can't take credit for that, but it's true. It's so true.
Yeah. So but the music is good, and I enjoyed seeing it on Broadway. But yeah, you're right when you look into it. And there's a lot of banging their head over, getting banged up over their social messaging in that play, and I kind of just.
Well, am I wrong? You've seen the play. That's how it goes through. The little reveal I said, yeah.
Yeah. You find the professor. Yep. Yeah. Isn't he a goat man in the play? I think I'm trying to remember.
Well, and the other thing is he keeps trying to make animals talk and all this other stupid bullshit.
Yeah. Oh,
so
that's
like,
what it was.
Animal abuse, through line.
Oh yeah,
which makes no sense because in the book it flat out says that all animals can talk in Oz, and there's even a joke in I can't remember which book it is, but it's like the second or third one, because then they all look at Toto and they're like, "Well, why aren't you talking?" He goes, "I can talk. I just have nothing to say."
Yep. Oh, Lenrod's browser crashed. Sorry. Yep. So these are as we're doing. I'm going through Foodery pictures as we're having this great discussion. This is Michelle's Pies in Norwalk, and
oh wow, that looks
you
good.
can order them. So
That's
this was
chocolate.
the chocolate pudding pie, which is my son's favorite.
Oh,
Wow, that looks nice.
And it's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. So take a screenshot.
Like
you can
pie
order.
there.
Oh, it's so good. And then of course I'm a sucker. And these are mini pie. My wife buys like the mini pies, so we don't need too much.
So
this was my favorite.
With both your hands just.
Yeah.
You're supposed to split them into four pieces, maybe. Yep.
I'm just looking at these and I'm thinking of Chris Farley going, yeah, that story is like, see, I have a bit of a weight problem. I used to take bear claws in my hands. Yeah. Get them lodged right here.
Yeah.
Oh God! And I missed the super chat from the Dead Man. I apologize, Dead Man. I was waiting to go do that. He says, I super apologize for this. He says, I watched your Clobby tribute and never knew him, but it was very inspirational for me to keep going with my channel. I actually learned a lot. Well, thank you so much to Dead Man, and Clobbering Times is a phenomenal guy. We miss every day, and if you haven't I'm assuming you've watched some of his old streams, but his channel's still up, and I've even got shows that I haven't watched that I was saying during that stream that I got to go back and watch. So here I think I have a couple of Clobby clips that let's play in honor of Clobbering Times. Let me see if I got a couple of fun ones we can play for our buddy. Yep, but let's see. Here's one of them. Yeah,
It sucks. Somebody ought to get their ass kicked for this mess. It's Clobbering time for real.
It's Clobbering time for real. Yeah.
Obviously, they're never going to do it the way I want it with Jar Jar Abrams at the man.
You came up with the name Jar Jar, and another in West Kegel with the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. And let's play. Where was the one? Oh, this is a fun one. It's a long one, but here, let's play this.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's a thing ring, do your thing.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was a travesty.
Oh my God, someone needs their ass kicked for that. Do your
thing ring, do your thing. It's like
if I ever.
Was that Fred Flintstone with the fucking thing?
Someone points out that that's the asshole.
Yes, it's Fred Flintstone with the thing.
Who came up with thing ring? You know,
Bonnie, this man's made of stone.
For a second.
Yeah, it's horrible. The Rock.
You notice how they make him look just like the one from the 1967? Look at his face.
Yeah, with
the old cartoon. The face doesn't look any different.
Ape mouth, yeah.
It sucks.
What the hell is this? I've never seen that.
It's Clobbering.
You never seen that? Oh yes.
No.
Oh,
what the hell
so
was that?
All right. Well, let's finish the Foodery because there's like a couple more pictures that I'll show you. But that was a TV show. It was Fred and Barney Meets the Thing, and they never met on the show. It was just like one of those cheesy intros that would do Fred and Barney, and then they would meet the new Shmoo. So let's finish up the Foodery. This is a blueberry pie. I hate blueberries. So
what?
I've heard that this is good, but
oh man.
Yeah. And thank you, Wes Cagle, for that super sticker. Yep.
Nothing like
the Man
fresh
of Steel.
blueberries.
I don't like. I mean, I don't like the texture of them. Yeah, but I've heard this
Fair
is a
enough.
phenomenal blueberry. It's just I'm weird. I'll eat clams, but not blueberries.
Yeah, I
There's
can't do the clam thing, man.
Yeah. So there's the peanut butter and chocolate pie, and I know Professor R2, you've got to head out soon too, right?
Yeah, I need to step out. Always great to hang out with you guys. Yep, and
nice
I got an extra early morning tomorrow. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you around.
May the
I
force be
appreciate
with
you
you.
being here. Yeah, so it was awesome to have you. Have a great week.
Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, R2. Let me put he's on with Price of Reason, who's a phenomenal dude. And let me put their link up here for their Tuesday night, Thursday night show, which I always enjoy. Sometimes I'm lurking there. Or when I can, I lurk there. If I can go into the chat, I will. But it's a great late night show, phenomenal late night show. Price and R2 are great guys. So here's their link to Price of Reason, where you can find R2 during the week. Oh, this was we're playing. I threw the card game in here. We're playing Shanghai, which you got to do all these different games. So one of them you have to get 10 cards in a row, and then 3 of a kind. So we're playing that. So I won that hand. I finally won one. So yeah, the Night Owl. Thank you, the Dead Man. Yep, the Night Owl. Yep. This is chicken going onto the grill. I'll go through this fast. So we just cooked.
Chicken.
I did some, as I joke, sous vide cooking. So you have your.
Just call it barbecue.
Chicken.
Sorry,
barbecue.
I know it's different. I know it's a technical thing.
Yeah, especially the chicken breasts, they dry up on you. So, and then you have these bags. I bought these bags. What a time saver! So they're vacuum seal bags. So you put the vacuum here, just a hand pump, and you pump out the air, so it cooks better. Oh, this is my new fidget toy that I've been that I printed for my niece. This thing has got me addicted. So, oh, so there's there's one of the dice games. Yeah, that was the. I just threw those in there. So that's the dice game that we play. Grammy wouldn't bet money though. I was trying to bet money with Graham. No. So you put your chicken, in the it's in the sous vide. It's a nice thing, you can cook it there and it's ready to go on the grill. And so you don't dry it up. So you keep it going there. Just on the grill. And I always throw some, if I'm not doing the smoker, I'll throw some smoked wood. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but I just throw it on the grill for some smoke flavor. So it came out, it came out really good. So the nice thing, we just made chicken sandwiches. So the nice thing is not, it's just not, it doesn't dry out you don't want dry meats. Or, no, that reminds me, I got to show Eric K's meats too. Yep. Let me show Eric K had sent me some meats. Yep. Let me check the Twitters here, because I know Eric had sent me the meats here. Yep. This was from last week, and I boomered it. I didn't show it last week because I was looking in the Geekery chat, not our main chat. Yep. So open image, a new tab. Where is that? There we go. There's the button I'm looking for. So as soon as we finish that, yep. Open image, a new tab. There we go. All right. So that was, I made a nice sandwich for myself. Yep. So that was, you know what's a really good sauce is the Chick-fil-A. I would joke Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
Their sauce is really good on chicken. Yep. Let's show Eric K's meats here, because everyone likes Eric K's meats. Yep. So this is barbecue
show his
rib.
meat on YouTube. Oh, that kind of.
This is safe, right? This is safe. Yep. I'll
Safe
be
for the
okay
most
here.
part. He's got it wrapped up, so it's definitely safe.
His meat is wrapped. It's protected.
His meat
Yep.
is wrapped.
His meat
it's
is protected.
That's right.
Yep.
Very good. Very good, sir.
Yep. That looks damn good. Yeah. And here it is on the smoker there. Yep. Man, that looks good. Yep. That was good. Yep. So I hope you had some great meats out there, Eric K, today. Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yep.
I think Eric's sending more pictures too.
Oh, he is. Yeah, we just have
Yeah.
catching up to the chat. Oh,
I
French
just got a
French beef.
notification.
Oh, let me check the chat there. Yep. I'm sure he sent some more good stuff over. Yep. Food is life, right? Come on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a thing that brings commonality, brings people together. You know.
Oh, these look damn good. Holy cradolis. Man, that looks good.
Make sure you show it though, Mark.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I'm bringing it over here. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man, this looks good. It's chipotle jalapeno bacon poppers. So let me put this on. Those look good. Yep. Oh, poppers. Yeah, the poppers are good. Yeah. Oh, they're so good. Yep. And bacon, right? With the bacon.
Bacon can never have enough bacon.
Can't go wrong with that. Lenrod's got an ooh. Damn. Get some more food soon. Yep. Thank you, Eric. Those look awesome. Yep. Awesome. All right. So I did have a couple enabling things to show too. So let's. Oh, can I get this? How come I can't get out of here? Man, those look good. So here's a couple of enabling items. So this is a wonderful Star Trek poster. I do have this, so you can bid on this as much as you want. I won't be angry. It's from Vice Press. They say in Mondo. I don't think Vice Press is a separate company as far as I know. But what's cool about this, you can't really tell. I believe this is the holographic version. So the ship, if you search my channel, you'll see it. I think it's just to change it with the light. It's just beautiful. The I don't know if you call it holographic or it's got like a laser. What would you call it? Reflective surface on it. It's just amazing. So let me put that link. That's a very big link, but I'll put that in the chat. But these Vice Press posters are just amazing. Matt Ferguson has done a bunch of. I don't know if this is Matt Ferguson, but that's just an amazing poster. Yep. So check that out. And then this is well, actually I should show this article first. Last of Us ratings declined during season 2, but why? How silly of a question is that? Because you killed off one of your main characters. I mean, how's that going to go for you?
Right?
We
all predicted this,
right? I mean, come on. Yeah. Lenrod says the bacon, the candy of meats, right? Yep. So, well, here's it. Here's some bacon wrapped meatballs for you. There you go. How's that, Dad, man?
Always a good thing.
Always a good thing, right? Yeah.
Meat right there.
But, I would like some bacon wrapped bacon, please.
Yes, exactly.
Wrapped bacon. Yeah.
That's ideally perfect there.
Also, this was the biggest series debut for HBO or HBO Max or Max, and now HBO Max since 2010. Wow. But yeah, the game tanked, right? It's the second season. I don't know how well it sold, but God, that was a hated version by a lot of people. And yeah, I mean, no surprise you kill off the main character. I thought they were going to drag out Joel's death. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but I thought they were going to
here's the
drag
thing
it out, didn't you?
The thing that sucked, yeah, I kind of predicted. I thought they would, but I was kind of surprised they did it the way they did it. But at the same time, it's like the problem here is they're gonna figure this out. It's the reason why people left, but it's, how do I put this? They're still gonna not understand the real underlying reasoning, right? Like they're gonna say, oh, it's because our star Pedro Pascal left, right?
Yeah.
Which is another reason why they keep promising he's gonna pop up in flashbacks and certain other things in the rest of the season or whatever, and possibly in season 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're not really looking at the real reason why people reacted the way they did, and that's the problem, right? It's not so much the loss of the character, it's how they're lost. Kind of like the same thing with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think many of us would have had an issue with how things went down had Luke got up off his ass, lifted that X-Wing up out of the water, got in it, flew to that planet, kicked the shit out of his nephew, and saved his sister.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think everybody would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
And we probably would have liked the movie a little bit better. We probably wouldn't have had as many issues with it. Now, it still probably would have had some, don't get me wrong. But I mean, at that point, that's what people wanted. And I think and then he goes and forces himself to death on a rock. Like, what the fuck is this?
That's just,
and that's kind of the way people reacted to this here too. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets smacked. Well, spoiler. If you haven't heard him, it follows the game exactly. He gets his brains bashed. And I didn't play the original game, but I knew what was going to happen. I think people have told me they handled it a little bit better than they did in the game, but he's still gone right away. So so it's that was a shock that I'm like, wow, they did this. But I think it was Paulie who was talking about too. Pedro was so booked because he's in freaking everything now that his scheduling, I think they couldn't even drag it out even if they wanted to, probably, at that point, that they probably he signed up for the one season and a few episodes. And I do have to say that I watched the episode 7, I believe it was, or 6, episode 6, The Price, which is a flashback, like you're talking about with Joel, was a phenomenal episode. Now he's in this episode a lot, and it shows Joel and Ellie going to the Apollo Command Module. They built that so that he's taken to a museum, and he's basically in this episode. And I'm trying to see if they have any more pictures from the episode. But God, it was a phenomenal episode. And Joel tells her that the reason what happened. He, spoiler, haven't seen it, it'll only take a few seconds, but come back in 30 seconds. But he tells her that, he killed everyone in that operating room, all the doctors there, to save her life, which is the tragedy. But if she had died, she could have saved humanity. So that's the Greek tragedy there. So that's, and she's pissed off at him because of that. She's like, now my life has no purpose. So her life without a purpose. So that episode was phenomenal, but Pedro was back in that episode. So a lot of the other episodes were not so good. I haven't watched the latest episode was tonight. I haven't watched it, but that was really good. But yeah, I think this is just gonna dwindle off. Now the next article I had, now they're gonna follow Abby at the next season. So, and no one likes this character, right, Tom? I mean, no one.
And this is when they made her a little bit more feminine than she was in the game. But yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, she was a hated character in the game. Of course, you kill the main character. Now, from her perspective, Joel has killed her father and all her friends. So they're both, two different sides of a coin. There, you could argue that. She's got a reason to kill Joel, but it's who's going to follow this if she's the lead, right? I mean, does anyone care about this character? I mean, I don't think so, right?
But Ellie's going to be a dad now.
Ellie's going to be a dad, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I have no clue about this Last of Us. I know the missus is kind of color commentated as Atwood's played the game some, but this is one franchise I've just not invested in. So that's kind of why I'm quiet right now, because it's like, I don't know what to say here with this.
Let's talk about Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, no, not Josh Gad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Because on the surface, this sounds like a good idea until you start digging deeper, right?
The crawl was nice. I'll be the crawl was kind of funny. I love the way
probably
they detailed
funnier
everything.
than the movie's going to be.
Probably so. That's what's sad and scary.
Yeah. Well, this is good news potentially, although depends. Yeah. So Star Trek Strange Nude Worms, I've got to correct myself, is canceled. So they're doing a 6-episode final season. I guess his hair will live on, but Anson Mount's hair will live on through those 6 episodes. But it's going to be a much shorter season. Of course, these seasons now are so goddamn short. I just started watching Briscoe County because it was like shows that I know Clobber and Times loved. Like, oh yeah, let me go back, and I've seen episodes here or there of Briscoe County, but I have the whole season. And they did 27 episodes in that first season of Briscoe County, including a 2-hour pilot. So everyone's sad. That's that last quote. We'll be back after a brief hiatus. They got 27 episodes. That's like that could be 4 or 5 years of a new modern show in one season, right? So it's
they broke the system, and that's the biggest problem right there. Like, they used to be able to make these shows for next to nothing, and they're spending more on one episode than they would an entire run of some of these classic shows, with the inflation included, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the insanity here.
Totally nuts. Yeah,
Star Trek was one of the first ones to do this with Discovery, right? With Disgracery, as our good friend used to call it, right? Like, so this I hope they're learning their lesson. I don't know if they really are. I mean, I know Zaslav is starting to say, yeah, we got to start doing this shit cheaper and find other ways to make money off this stuff. We can't just keep it on our streaming service. And that's what these shows were created for, was first and foremost, just to sell their stupid streaming service. Yeah.
And hail to Captain Finity, TZ Burton, and RobAltis. Happy Father's Day, everyone. So actually for a while too, like, people were subscribing to Paramount Plus. They pulled a bunch of the Star Trek movies off Paramount Plus, and people were bitching. I don't know if any of the series had disappeared, but they had licensed them out. So they had to take them off Paramount.
At least the first few OG series had been licensed out. Yeah, like you could just TNG and TOS for sure, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, well, wait a minute, we subscribed to this for Star Trek, and yeah, I had hope for Discovery originally. Nothing was hopeful when you saw the trailers, but I watched it, and of course we know what a travesty it turned out to be. And Strange Nude Worms has been marginally better, but it's like, such a low bar. I mean, there's a couple of things have been better, and I remember one of my super chats to Nerdrotic was like, wouldn't it be great if they did a show with Anson Mount, with Captain Pike and the crew of the Enterprise, and everyone was calling, wanted it, and and I think Gary missed that super chat too. I think he missed it on the roundup. That was one of my first super chats, and so I don't know remember what he said, or I'm forgetting, but Gary, you owe me $5. I want my $2 now. We were all clamoring for it, but just the writing has just been so bad. And what they did to the Gorn was just a complete travesty, just a total abomination. So,
and I have to ask Lenrod here, has he seen The History of the World Part 2?
Yeah, Lenrod, I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Tom?
I have not, but I've heard nothing but bad things. And look, Mel Brooks is funny as shit, but he's also not the most creative person in the group, right? Like, every one of his movies he's made were written in tandem or by somebody else. He's there and he's a big part of it, but like, for instance, Blazing Saddles, a lot of that is Paul Mooney and Richard Pryor. Young Frankenstein is all Gene Wilder. And the original Spaceballs even had a couple other writers and stuff on it. And he's not going to really have much to do with this movie. I'm not trying to be
probably just put his name on it. Probably. Yeah.
He cashed a check. He's going to be 100 years old when this movie comes out.
God bless him.
If he's still with us.
God bless him.
So my guess is he's filming one quick sequence as Yogurt, and that is it.
That's
sadly,
the only thing he'll be in here.
Yeah, as was pointed out before, Josh Gad is the creative behind this, and I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts, or in this case, doggy biscuits, that Josh will be playing Barf Jr. Because if you're not noticed,
that makes sense. Yeah.
That
physically, just look at him physically, his head, the face. Yeah, it would. Because
how got Bill Pullman's actual kid in it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it's so old. It's so old now. Yep.
Merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Keke Palmer will probably be Dot Matrix 2.0. And if you don't know who she is, she's been somebody who's tried making it for years. She did have somewhat of a successful comedy this last year. She was the one who tried canceling Bill Murray last year or whatever it was, or the year before.
Oh, that's who it was? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And she had nothing to even do with the incident that was in question.
Yeah, because didn't he have to pull out from a movie, or there were some complaints about?
Oh, the whole movie got canceled.
The whole movie got killed, right? Yeah. Was that because of her, or those complaints, or just that was another incident? Yeah.
She was one of the main culprits because she said she didn't want to work with Bill.
Yep. Well, I know Lucy Lou's not a fan of.
No, she has her issues with him as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and I think Bill's talked about that since then.
He's admitted it too. I think, right, that he's like, I was quite an a-hole, and not to excuse it, but I could see where you get to be that popular and powerful, where power can go to your head, and I'm not excusing it, and not but I can see where that can happen. And T says, "Happy Dad, man, happy Father's Day." I can't remember if Mark has any more Star Wars kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I got plenty of I would buy all those Star Wars toys for the kid. Yep, for the kids. Yep, they were for me, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And TZ says, I sent Neurotic 2 super chats. I didn't read them. Yeah, well, Gary gets so many super chats. I love Gary, but yeah, I can see where he does the roundup too, just for that. So it's tough when you get all those super chats. That's a problem to have when you get too many super chats, right? Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, Leonard, they did make History of the World Part 2. Yep. So Clint Eastwood 95 on filmmaking, talking about old filmmakers. Do something new or stay home. So I can read the whole article, but Clint turned 95 on June 6th here, and he's going to keep working. So God bless him. So juror number 2, I haven't watched that. I heard that was pretty good, but that had all kinds of I wouldn't say production problems. He wanted that in the theaters longer than it was.
Well, it was a
wasn't
it? It was misreported by the news. So from what I found out and from doing some digging, was that movie was set up during the Kalar regime and was meant to go straight to streaming. But the movie was so good that Zaslav said, let's go put it out in 50 theaters and hopefully it'll get, some Oscar attention. It didn't.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a great fucking movie if you haven't seen it. It's kind of a newer take on 12 Angry Men in a way.
Okay. I've heard it's
with
good.
A hell of a twist. With a hell of a twist, yeah.
Hell of a twist. Okay, yep. So Clint, was working, yes, at 95, right? As my dad always said, yeah, don't retire because end up dying, right? What's the point of retiring? So we live in an era, and this is the quote I loved, yep. I long for the good old days when screenwriters wrote movies like Casablanca and Small Bungalows on the Studio Lot, when everyone had a new idea, according to the interview. We live in an era of remakes and franchises. I've shot sequels 3 times, but I haven't been interested in that for a long while. My philosophy is do something new or stay home, added Eastwood, who turned 95 on May 31st. There's no reason why a man can't get better with age. I have much more experience today. Sure, there are directors who lose their touch at a certain age, but I'm not one of them. Eastwood, who made World War II thriller Where Eagles Dare in Austria with Richard Burton. Oh, that's a phenomenal movie. Told the paper the secret to his success was that he had always tried something new as a director and an actor. As an actor, I was still under contract with the studio, was in this old system, and thus forced to learn something new every year, he said. And that's why I'll work as long as I still can. I still learn something or I'm truly senile. So God bless Clint Eastwood. And he's probably one of the more successful actor directors when you look back on movie history. What was his first? Do you remember offhand what his first movie was?
As far as starring, I don't remember, but first one he directed, I think, was Play Misty for Me, if I remember right.
Misty for Me, okay, yeah.
I think. But now the sad part about this is I think this was debunked.
What was debunked?
The story that you're reading here. Yeah.
Oh, it was debunked. Oh, that's why it disappeared from one of the sites.
So
it's
like,
totally fake.
I sent you an updated version of it.
Okay, thank you. Oh, here we go. Okay, yep. Yeah, because I tagged it a couple weeks ago. Here we go. Okay, and then I went to go back to it, and then it had disappeared. Oh no. The director calls out phone. I love the quote there, right? Clint Eastwood interview real. It says she aggregated.
Yeah,
old
he said the only thing in that interview was true is that I'm 95.
Oh man, no wonder the story disappeared. Jeez, you can't believe everything on the interweb. Yep. So thank you for that, Tom. Yep. A viral Clint Eastwood interview gained attention over the past week, in which a 95-year-old star director criticized Hollywood's era of remakes and franchises has been debunked by Clint, who, as Tom said, called it phony. The quotes contained in the interview are, in fact, authentic, just date back to years before its publication. Oh, God. Oh, well, see, it seemed believable to me, right?
So Clint forgot that he said it, I guess, 30 years ago.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I don't blame him, right? Yeah. They're called from several of those 14 press conferences I attended a couple. Yeah, well, that's bullshit on her part, too. Then she knew she did this, right? And the article went viral, right? I clicked on it, and I read it, and I thought it was a good article. That's why I was
it went viral enough that people actually reached out to Clint, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. A negative
somebody
interview.
smelled some bullshit somewhere.
Right? Yep. They pulled the article. Yep. Yeah. So that's it's okay if she'd written an article and aggregated the quotes and said,
No, I'm not saying that he might not try and make another movie, but I don't know. We'll see. After his experience with the Juror number 2, I think that's kind of what you're getting at. Is it almost makes me wonder if he'd even bother again. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So the full Eastwood quote. Yeah. So this one still it resonated though. It resonated as you read it. Yep. And then Eric says, "Yeah, I was going to say as an actor, Clint did Any Which Way with Loose and Any Which Way You Can, the Dirty Harry movies and spaghetti westerns. He did the same thing. Yeah. So, and a lot of it was the same characters. Yeah. So let's see. Let's call up some Spaceballs. Let's see some Spaceballs.
Watch out."
And I saw Daphne Nzwenga last year at Terrificon, and she looked great. Yeah, I talked to her quite a bit. Yeah, so
I remember you talking about that. Yeah,
because I was asking her all about the Sure Thing, which I loved. Everyone probably wants to see her for space. Talk to her for Spaceballs at a Comic-Con. So, but Spaceballs 2. So everyone's gonna have 2 balls. So here we go. So Mel, yes, Mel's going to be 100. Yeah, 40 years ago. Yeah. So someone had a question about, how is he going to be able to merchandise this? Didn't he have a deal with Lucasfilm back then that he couldn't sell anything from the movie, or what was the?
I don't know if it was ever anything in actual writing or if it was just a deal they had. Because honestly, I mean, like Weird Al, for instance, doesn't technically have to get permission to do satire or parody songs. He just does. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's just one of his things. And Mel kind of had a similar thing, especially with George, because he's like, I don't want to get sued. So he talked to George Lucas.
Yeah.
He's like, how would you feel if I did this movie? Blah, 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 blah. George loved the idea. The only stipulation he had was no toys. Right? He's like, you can make fun of the toys, but don't actually make any merchandising. Because then he saw it as them profiting off of Star Wars in that respect, right? Like,
yeah.
For whatever reason, that was just his only stipulation. Otherwise, he could go hog wild and they could do whatever they wanted. He didn't care. He wasn't going to sue them. So in that case, that was just pretty much it. But now we've got Spaceballs, the t-shirt. We've had other minor merchandise things here and there to where now that Star Wars isn't even owned by George anymore, I don't think they care.
Right.
And there was a point where for a hot second, technically Star Wars and Spaceballs were under the same roof because Fox was controlling MGM's catalog for a while until Amazon bought them out. And so like, there was this hot minute. And I think that's when a lot of the merchandise started. Cause that's when I remember I got because I got a couple of Spaceballs t-shirts and they're legit licensed shirts, right? So like, they're not like fake. I actually have one of the licensed Spaceballs t-shirts and I have Lord Helmet for President. And I have President Scroob for 20, whatever it was, one of the years. It was, But anyway, so I actually have a couple of Spaceballs t-shirts and a few other things. So, like, they do exist now. So I wouldn't be surprised if
they weren't
something
bootleg. They're
one.
actually...
No, they were legit, like, licensed,
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, yeah. So, I mean, is it going to... I mean, that's why... as much as you want to see something like your properties live on, or I want another movie, sometimes it's better that there isn't a sequel, right? So
well, Beetlejuice. I mean, I know some people enjoyed that, but to me, it was like that wasn't worth the 30-year wait. And
no, it wasn't. That movie was disappointing because the biggest thing with my wife and I, it didn't have the same heart and spirit of the original. It was meaner, it was darker, which is okay if you will go in that way, but it didn't have the same magic of the first one. And like I said,
and it had some sloppy writing too.
Yeah. Yeah. It just
because they could have streamlined the whole story, right? Like,
yeah,
the whole idea First of all, you got a problem is you got this really kind of cool idea for a villain in Beetlejuice's ex-wife or former wife or whatever you want to call her.
Then she became an afterthought.
Yeah, exactly. She's brought up once and then she comes in late in the movie again and that's it. And she's like, boom, in and out. It's like, well, that was kind of uneventful. When the whole plot should have been Beetlejuice needs to get married to get away from her. You replace Beetlejuice just like you did in the original movie, where now he's going after the daughter again, right? Only this time. Instead of, because why is he still obsessed with fucking like Winona Ryder? He'd have just moved on to another subject, like who cares? Like he doesn't have any real reason to like her. He just wants to get to the other side. Like that's his whole thing. So, and then they introduce a whole other character who has the same motivation. Yeah. So it's like, why?
Yeah, they did. I thought with that guy, they did that very effectively. I didn't see that coming, but it was still. Like
I did, sadly.
But it was kind of like it was one of the things we thought was okay, but it was kind of like only a small part of the movie. I mean, make either him the really bad guy overall, but like you said, you got two bad guys. Which one takes? It's like they split 50-50.
Technically, you got three with Beetlejuice because Beetlejuice is still technically not a good guy.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Between these two, they split the time, and it's like we're scattered. We got. Instead of one bad guy,
Well, and it should have been about the loss of two fathers, right? And then her story gets taken off on this other adventure of a boyfriend, and who gives a shit? And did you see Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire?
Yes, I saw that one.
I did. Yeah.
And that was my issue. Is that it's like everybody called that out and had a problem with that, but they didn't say shit about Beetlejuice. It's like what? Just because it was a boy and a girl, and she actually wanted to fuck him. Unlike with Ghostbusters, where everybody was seeing lesbian ghosts, and it's like I don't necessarily see where everybody sees lesbian ghosts here.
I didn't
that was
see
just because of today's. You look like you're it's on your radar more.
But the problem is you got to be careful how you keep calling out, because if you keep calling ghosts and stuff where it doesn't exist, then you're going to lose credibility, and people are going to quit listening to you when it does happen, when there is really an agenda.
In this case, you mean like figurative ghosts, not like the ones in the movie. Just to be
right,
clear.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. It's just like boy cried wolf, It's like people just give up on you. But the biggest problem I had with Frozen Kingdom, they had a hell of a demon bad guy. That thing was so freaky in the previews and everything else, and they didn't use it enough.
Yeah, that third act is a mess. And this is what I said to people. It's like, look, I'd rather be debating about other things than this other stupid part, because I think part of the problem is the reason people are seeing that in this movie is because of how choppy the movie is.
Yes.
I think this movie is missing a good half hour of the film, because Phoebe's character is more obsessed with what it's like to be a ghost than sex. If she's anything like her grandfather, she doesn't even, sex isn't even on her radar.
Right, right, exactly.
I think people got that vibe, and I think people are so sensitive to that today.
I can honestly see Egon procreating just as an experiment, and that's probably how his daughter was born.
Out of a test tube, boom. Yeah.
Remember the first movie? Because he's like totally getting hit on left and right by Janine, and he could give he's just blowing her off.
No clue. Yeah. And she's very cute. Yep.
But the biggest thing with that movie that I had is, like you said, everybody's focused on that. But this guy, I mean, that opening scene where he froze everybody in there, and that bad guy was like an ultimate bad guy. He looked freaky with the horns, everything else. They could have used him much more effectively and made him scarier. But his scenes were like cameo appearances in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it fell apart.
They really did, it really, they focused all between the Phoebe and the other girl ghost, which was a decent trickery
And I still
type thing.
feel like some of that got chopped out too.
But the whole thing is I just want more ghosts, and that's one of the questions that one of my other friends talked to me about that loves Ghostbusters was we want more ghosts in our Ghostbusters, and we lost it, and why I really wanted to see that movie was because of the images that they published with the ghost in the darkness, or the demon in the darkness with the horns and all that. It's like they disappointed. It was a bait and switch. It's like they teased this guy and they didn't deliver him. Like, oh, he got frozen, he's dead. It was too convenient of an ending.
Yeah, and I feel like, well, and this is why I also feel like there's so much missing, because like aside from in the trailer, there was a bunch of stuff that didn't wind up in the movie. Like when that, like first of all, like you said, there's too many characters. So waitress chick from the first movie, who's in this new movie for no good reason. Right?
Mm-hmm.
When she gets frozen, like it feels like there's a jump there. Like, because like you said in the beginning, anybody we've seen frozen up to this point, they die.
Yep.
Right? Like that's it. Like once you're done, you're froze. So at some point Phoebe must have figured out how to thaw her out, because there's this jump cut between two scenes. And then when you come back to Phoebe and her, like she's like all thawed out and she's shivering, but she's got like a thermal blanket on. It's like, how did Phoebe thaw her out? We didn't see that. So anyway, beyond that, let's get back to Spaceballs 2. I wish I had more faith in it. No, it's my fault too. I'm the one who set it off on this.
It's like squirreling, jumping topics and all.
No, but I agree, and that's the whole point we got on this was that is this necessary now? Do we need this?
No,
is it going to turn out good? Well, I mean, of course, the answer to most of those is probably no. So,
no, yeah, you don't need it. It's probably not.
If there was a different writer, if it wasn't Josh Gad, I think there'd be a lot less questions about it. It would be a lot less skepticism, but his track record with a lot of stuff has not been good. But then again, who would you have brought in to work with Mel Brooks? So who would have been a good writer? Oh, the South Park guys.
Yep.
Interesting.
And if we couldn't get them,
that'd be a good pick. Yeah.
If I couldn't get them, I guess I would go with Seth MacFarlane, even though he's not my choice.
Yeah.
He loves Star Wars and Star Trek enough that, yeah.
Yeah, because do we really need to see? I don't need a sequel to that movie. It's just not needed. I mean,
well, especially if Bill Pullman's not going to be an older Lone Star. It's just and having him playing President Scrooge.
I guess I'll watch it.
That was a miss. That was them screwing.
But I will tell you, I will be more likely to give this a watch than the Naked Gun reboot.
Naked Gun trailer the trailer was pretty damn funny in the movie.
No, it was dead
got
to
a good
me.
Reaction.
It was dead to me. That Liam Neeson can't carry a humor. I just just don't disperse. Yeah,
but it's his son though. It's not him.
I does not matter. Leslie Nielsen set that role to such a high standard, and Liam Neeson is not the guy.
People were laughing in my movie theater before Tom Cruise's.
This is
Mission Impossible.
This one movie is probably like me to some of the Trek people, like, or the Marvel people, like no Eternals and no Miss Marvel and stuff. And like on this one, for me, Naked Gun is just one of those. There's no. I will never say I will never watch something, but I have no desire and nothing. I actually feel about the Naked Gun reboot like my wife felt about the last Indiana Jones movie. She's like, I don't want to go watch that shit. She's got her Indiana Jones and all, and she didn't care about the last movie and what they were trying to do. And then that's why, like in Naked Gun, that's one that needed no reboot. I could expect Spaceballs before Naked Gun. They're two different levels of humor. The first scene for Naked Gun just looks like a rehash of the first one where he is in a costume and then he pops out. That's going to be my hill to die on.
I think my bigger issue with the Naked Gun thing, and I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But like, I think my bigger issue now is because I didn't have as much of an issue at first, and I know Liam Neeson can do comedy. That's not my problem either. And I actually liked some of the things they were doing in the trailer. But then when I found out that like Zucker and them were like not even consulted and worse, they actually had pitched a similar idea years ago and Paramount turned them down, and now they're doing this all of a sudden with Seth MacFarlane and his crew.
Yeah.
Like that is kind of a bit of a weird, like that does kind of turn me off. I will admit that. Like I heard the interview with was it Abrams or Zucker? I think it was Abrams who actually was talking, but it was, he basically said like, we pitched this idea of, you know, the son of Naked Gun basically, and now they're doing it, but not with us. Yeah. You know, and you can't really copyright an idea, but when the creators of this thing,
well, that sucks.
Yeah, like that's
that's not good. Yeah.
No, yeah. So like I'm kind of getting paused now, and I had a buddy of mine who feeds me stuff once in a while. He was supposed to go see a screening of it, but he didn't get to, unfortunately. So I was going to get kind of some insight into it, but
I mean, it did look fun, but
yeah,
it looked fun to me. I know, Dad. I hear your dad, man. You don't want someone, but at least it's not trying to be him. It's supposed to be his son. So,
we'll see how it comes out, I have a personal thing against. But I have kind of a personal thing against Liam Neeson, and a lot of it's because of a lot of the social things about firearms and things like that. For a guy that makes every movie based on that,
I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't find him funny in that. There's a disconnect with me in the role. But
you
then
know,
again,
but he might track you down and find out where you live.
Well, good luck, pal. Good luck, pal.
Yeah.
But it's also to me such a praise for what Leslie Nielsen did for that role. Even though it's the son, not the father. I mean, making with the white hair. I saw somebody post. I think it was in the second or third one. They had a flash to Frank Jr. with a tie with the white hair too, as a toddler. I mean, have Liam Neeson have the white hair. I mean, do other things. But like I said, I never say never, but it's gonna be doubtful.
Well, we'll tie you up and make you watch it. Yeah, but let me get to the super chat from the great Wrench Eric K. Says, reminder, Pedro is box office poison. He's not the smartest in the room, let alone the world. And Norrin Rad is the Silver Surfer, which tees up this great quote.
You have to set an example even in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby's Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
Yes, for sure.
Denzel
For sure. And
said
actually,
it, so
yeah. And actually, there's a box of plastic junk headed your way soon, Eric. And I owe JT Kirk some stuff, and all my channel members too. I finally ordered boxes because I was trying to pack this stuff. I'm like, I have too much stuff to send out. And Tom, I got to get your lamp out too. I got that.
Oh yeah.
I got to get that out, so I got to pack everything up this week. I want to do a video on it. I'm like, I got to do a video on it before I send it out. So, and this is one of the this is some of the plastic junk that is coming your way. So this is a cool Silver Surfer. You know, this is a tease here. So this is a Silver Surfer, the item, the box, you know, the corner box. Yep. So been printing those tonight because I had extra room in the box. I'm like, I gotta fill up the box. So
that's too funny.
I'm printing these. So, but
well, Mark, I'm going to quickly.
You got to head out, right?
Yeah.
I saw that, and then you kept, talking.
I know. I got in the fire of the flow. That's the thing of the 3 hours. That's how we end up going from a 2 hour planned stream to 6 or 7 hours.
Well, I think we're gonna get out of here now anyway because I got to go to the doctor in the morning. So if you want to wait, so
I'll wait.
I appreciate that.
6 sounds like she disagrees with the Pedro Pascal.
Well, I'm not going to argue with any lady who thinks the guy is sexy. My wife thinks I'm sexy, I hope. So, yep. I'm not going to go there. Yep. Eric is this sweet. Yep.
That's Pedro's theme right there.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. But, and Oliver had a quick question. So I'll give Oliver my 3 answers. Father-son movies. How about Indiana Jones 3, right? That'd be probably my number 1.
Oh, by the way, real quick, that movie is a Fathom event. They played it twice. I played it yesterday, today. I believe, at least here where we are. Yes, Last Crusade, Wednesday nights. Fathom Events could be in your theaters near you. You'd have to check it out.
Oh yeah, that is a good Father's Day movie. I didn't think about that.
That's perfect. Yeah, good. Yeah, I would say I was trying to think of some. So Bronx Tale, another great father-son movie, and The Godfather.
Too bad it's got Robert De Niro in it, but
well, De Niro, as a schmuck now, but I always ignore that. So, but thank you for that question, Oliver. But yeah, let me thank my channel members. And we're gonna get on out here, Dad. Man, while I'm looking up my channel members, why don't you plug what Mrs. has going?
10 o'clock in the morning, about less than 8 hours from now, she'll be live with her daily dose of positivity. Come by, check her out. And she, Mondays do Wednesdays, and then on Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Tomorrow afternoon, I don't know if it's diamond painting or what she has, but she should have something about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course, follow her, Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. Basically, subscribe, get the notifications. Tomorrow, I know what. Tomorrow night. No, she does not have a stream in the afternoon. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m., she will be continuing her watch party of Batman the Animated Series. Nice. So that's a wonderful series with that. Of course, on Tuesdays or during the week, she does diamond painting, which is really, really interesting. And Wednesday afternoon, she will be doing JoJo and another anime in the afternoon. So different things that she's got. Of course, tomorrow night I'll be Fortnite with Jess around 6:30 or so in the evening. And then Wednesday and Fridays, 10 o'clock, my playing squirrel streams. But like I say, a lot of my streams now are by how time available I have with my mom, life, but we do the best. We sort of schedule what we can, but we go live as I can when I can. But hey, then I appear here with you, Mark. So thank you.
Well, usually you there's a dose of Dadman pretty much all the time. I mean, not all the time, but pretty often. Yep.
When I'm free and available and rested, you never know when I'll go live.
So let me thank the channel members and. Let's see here. Let's go. Where did my spreadsheet go? Oh, there we go. And thank you to the Sean Estep who purchased 10 channel memberships.
Oh, Sean's here?
I don't know if he's here, but he had gifted 10
Sean, if you're here,
week.
thanks a lot, man. I got your box, man. He sent me some goodies. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Sean is awesome with Sunday out stuff. He's the best.
I never know how to get a hold of him per se.
But thank you, Sean. Yeah, because I don't know if he's on the Twitters or, but I do have his email.
There's a ton of Sean. Yeah, that's
I have
the
his
thing.
email. I have his email.
If you do send it to me, thanks.
I'll send it to you. Yep. I'll send you his email. But
so I can thank him personally.
Yeah, he's got a box coming my way too. So he said. So thank you so much, Sean. But let me thank. This is not. And I don't know what the order is, but this is the download order. So no particular order, but Mr. Angel, Alexander Tan, DJ Play Nice, Classic Comics, Watcher X, Soup Can, Lenrod, Wolvie of the One Quarter Jew, Lisa, Supergirl, Phantom Outsider, Wes Cagle, Professor R2, Philip Story, Dadman, Metalorian, Stark of Iron, Nick Weiser, Shooter the Emu, DJ Ronnie G, RobAltis, RRT and Z, Max Redstone, Tristan Delorme, 70s Rock Fan, Dave C, Antiderivative Jill, JT Kirk, and Brian Hepburn. So thank you to all my channel members who help keep the lights on around here, and I really appreciate your support. And yes, your doomsday machines and such are going to be going out. I'll just have to, obviously I need your address. I'm going to do that this week. I apologize.
Actually, you must have given me his email before, or I had it here. So yeah, I do have
You have it. Okay, good. Yep.
Okay,
You got it. Yep. So that's good. So as we it got late early, so I'm just going to thank whoever's active. Of course, thank you to Steve Mitchum. Thank you to Tom and Dadman for being here. And thank you to Six and Donnie and Phantom and Oliver and Ledron and Eric K and Peter Venkman. And thank you to Professor R2 for being here earlier, and for Steve Mitchum for jumping in. And if I'm missing, E. Clay is here, Caleb, Tim Hayes, RobAltis. Let's see who else. Some Stream Elements bot, Peter Venkman. I think we're just going back in Captain Infinity if we time travel. RobAltis. And let's see, Oliver. I got Oliver, but we're gonna get out of here because it got late early. So just want to thank everyone, and we'll catch you on the next Sunday Night Geekery, of course, and catch Tom. I got everyone sub to Midnight's Edge, but catch Tom. What do you? And you know what your topic is tomorrow on your show? Or
morning show, not offhand, but probably definitely box office, but
box office. Yeah. We didn't talk about how the dragon, how to tame your dragon, but that kicked ass this week too, and it did pretty well, right? In terms of box office, I think it was pretty successful, right? Not as big as Lilo, but was what did it do, like 80 million or 140 million total, or I can't remember, but I thought it did pretty well, right, Tom? Or
sorry, what was that?
Oh, How to Save Your Dragon.
Oh yeah, that'll be the big one. Yeah,
that'll be the big one. Yeah. So it did. I think it did pretty well for our first weekend. So, but all right. Well, tune into Midnight's Edge to get all the news on it. And good night to Donnie, and Peter Ringer says great show, and Jonathan Conroy, good night. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy your week. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. We'll catch you on the next Sunday Night Geekery. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
If I can find the confounded outro. Thank you, Dad Man. Yep. Bye. Oh wait, before we go, we got to play this one. Yeah, for.
Where'd they go?
Right there.
Oh, screw you!
Now we can go.
There you go.
Storming the castle. It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Still here? It's over. Go home.